Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this afternoon's football action here in Wheaton, Illinois at McCauley Stadium between the home Wheaton Thunder and the blue tops and white bottoms and the visiting Carroll University Pioneers in the white tops and white bottoms and orange helmets. This is going to be a great matchup here today. Beautiful 75 degrees here in Wheaton. Wheaton coming off of a 2-game winning streak here. Carroll coming off of a win last week. And both teams will look to improve their record. Both teams sit at 4-2 in conference play. And we'll see what today has in store for us. Noah, we were talking pre-broadcast about kind of the narratives of this team. One of the big ones being that Wheaton has a lot of seniority on their team. 22 seniors in the starting lineup across it, whereas Carroll will starting all underclassmen, no seniors in starting lineups on offense, defense, or special teams.
Yeah, the experience is definitely a major key for this game. Both Carroll and Wheaton coming in at 4-2, but Carroll doing it in a different way than Wheaton. Wheaton definitely relying on that experience that we've seen, especially from their star running backs, Gio Weeks and quarterback Will Bowers, both seniors, whereas Carroll, like you mentioned, not starting a senior on offense, defense, or special teams, and in fact starting multiple freshmen across the board.
Yeah, interesting to see that approach from Carroll. We certainly don't see a lot of that just across the CCIW, and I'd say probably across Division III as a whole. But I know we were talking too that this is a newer coach on the Carroll sideline, and he's obviously trying to build the program in a different way than it had been before. So it'll be interesting to see how the young players getting so much experience at the beginning of their playing careers will end up affecting their team in the years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike Bozeski, the new coach for Carroll, this is his second year with the Pioneers. He has definitely brought them about to a marked improvement, going from a 1-7 record in the year prior to his arrival to a winning record last year, and they are looking to continue that this year once again, starting 4-2. But a big test for them this week with the number 15 ranked Wheaton Thunder here.
Yeah, and we're about to get started here. Carroll with a short kickoff into a little bit of a breeze here. So this will be the Thunder starting on offense. We're going to see, like you mentioned, quarterback Will Bowers, who's had a great first season with the Thunder, has a 5-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. His completion percentage is in the top 5 across Division III. I'm pretty sure he's 5th, if I remember correctly. Sitting at about 73% completion on his passes, which is really great to see. Wheaton just with a really potent offense, able to really pass the ball effectively, obviously under the accuracy of Bowers, but also having really impressive ground game led by Gio Weeks. And they're going to start with the ball to Weeks, and he goes, and he's going to pick up just a few yards there, right through the middle of his offensive line.
Good start there for Weeks, coming off of an injury last week in the first quarter against Carthage. There's some question about his availability for this game, so it's nice to see him start out the game with a nice solid run up the middle.
Well, and you know, if anything were to flare up, Wheaton does have the advantage of having just depth at every position. Christian Karstens has been playing really well in his reserve minutes, and we'll probably see him on the field at some point today as Bowers unloads a nice pass to a wide open Tyler Gauthier, number 6. Great reception by Gauthier. And if you look at the Thrivent Financial replay here, you'll see Bowers just very calm, cool, and collected, delivering a beautiful spiral to Tyler Gauthier, who's just wide open there. Gauthier keeping himself from letting his knees hit the ground, is able to pick up a few extra yards after that reception. That'll be a first down Thunder. Carroll defense getting ready here. There's a toss out to Weeks, who goes along the far sideline and picks up about 9 off the nice little toss play there. And just, as we've talked about and seen all season, Gio Weeks, just such an effective weapon, as you can see here, picking up easy yardage on that toss, just able to cut outside. And the defense just wasn't really expecting that. He's taken down by the back line there.
Yeah, you see Carroll sending some pressure off the left side, which perfectly works for Wheaton.
Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
Unfortunately, it won't count as we hear the holding penalty, but Wheaton able to use that toss play, a little bit of misdirection, gets the defensive end collapsing on the right side, and Weeks is able to take it outside from there. Get a holding penalty by one of the receivers on the outside, though.
So this will be now 1st and 17 for the Thunder, ball on their own 40. Bowers talking here. He's got another handoff here to Weeks, who will pick up some good yards, but stopped by met strongly by, looked like that was number 46 for the Pioneers, Damon Loker. We'll see here on the replay. That's actually, Jim Clem, number 12 strong safety, sophomore for the Pioneers, getting a strong stop there against Giovanni Weeks, which is very hard to do.
Yeah, Clem reading that run, coming up fast and hard, and he's able to completely put a stop to Weeks in motion there.
Quick pass out here to Weeks along the near sideline, and Weeks pushing through some contact, able to fall out of bounds there, picking up some more yards. It'll be a 3rd down here. Looks like they're going to be needing about 4 yards here. Ball on their own 47, so pretty manageable here for the Wheaton offense here. They're just past midfield. We'll see what they have cooking here. Matthew Tucker motions. That's Bowers with the keeper. Nice ball fake, and Bowers moving, picking up a big amount of yardage. And we know it's not often that we get to see Bowers use his legs a ton, but we know from some of the games this season that he can really move when he wants to. And you can see on the replay here just a beautiful ball fake to get that first defender off of him, able to pick up a nice chunky yardage there. And the Thunder now with a comfortable pickup there on 3rd and 4. Bowers again with the ball, looking, and there's a flag thrown. That's caught by Ben Juska, who picks up the first down, but we'll see what this flag is, and this looks like it might be coming back.
That's a great catch there by Juska, able to just, well, run him over, as we see on the Thrivent Financial replay. Probably will be coming back, like you mentioned. It's a great truck there, just able to run over the first defender. And on the previous play,
holding. Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
So we'll get a 1st and long here for the offense. As I was mentioning, on both the last 2 plays, trying to get Will Bowers out of the pocket, keep things a little interesting. With a triple option on the previous play, they have the defense completely lines up with what they need and still can't get it done because of the nice juke off the middle linebacker. But now Wheaton gonna have to probably pass here with the 1st and long.
Yeah, it'll be 1st and 20, and that's Juska's 2nd holding penalty on this opening drive. But Bowers finding Matthew Tucker right up the middle, and Tucker, as we've seen, is just so shifty, so fast, and picks up a lot of extra yards. If you watch here on the Thrivent Financial replay, you can say pretty short completion here, but Tucker able to just use that agility and just pick up some more yards. Even puts in a nice stiff arm there on Clem.
Yeah, you see Tucker there with a nice in route, breaking then towards the sidelines, able to stay in the middle so that he's in between the zones.
That was a wide receiver screen play there, intended for Tyler Gauthier, and he got the reception but not able to pick much up here as the Carroll defense was all over that, just busting through that play, even through the nice block by Tucker. A little pick up there for the Thunder. It'll actually be 1st and 10, so no gain on that one. Thunder now, though, very close to the end zone, just 13 yards away from having a touchdown here. Carroll defensive line shifting a bit there, pre-snap, and this is Bowers with the keeper. He's moving around. Nice play there. Bowers picking up a nice chunk of yardage. Again, we get to see Bowers use his legs, and we'll see on the Thrivent Financial replay here that just takes it himself able to cut through some of the defenders trying to find him, and we had some great blocking there in that play too. You see number 69
absolutely.
Elijah Nitz clearing a path for his quarterback.
It's a great quarterback draw. Linemen take pass blocking steps to bait the defensive line in, and then Bowers has a free open spot. Speaking of open spots, there's another touchdown for Matthew Tucker right up the middle. Tucker with a nice touchdown catch there, just jumping over the defender for his 3rd touchdown of the year.
Yeah, nice catch there by Tucker. Just looked very textbook there. Everyone looking like they knew exactly where they needed to be, and Tucker just pulling in a nice touchdown. We've seen him have some really good impacts on the game. You know, just a few games ago, he pulled in an incredible touchdown catch, and that's another touchdown to this season's resume for him. This will be Caleb Mary kicking the extra point, and that is good. Thunder now with 7 on the visiting Pioneers, so Thunder able to score on their opening drive despite 2 holding penalties. Able to still get in the end zone. Bowers doing a lot of work on that one. We saw a little bit of Giovanni Weeks at the beginning there, but spent a lot more time with Will Bowers as the drive progressed. We got to see him use his legs, pick up some nice bits of yardage, and then able to finish it with that nice touchdown strike to Matthew Tucker.
Yeah, that gives Bowers 16 touchdown passes on the year so far now, with approaching 200 yards rushing as well on the year.
Yep.
Really well-rounded so far, which has been nice to complement Weeks, so the offense hasn't necessarily had to rely on him, like you mentioned, and having the depth at the other running back spots with the emergence of Christian Carstens, who ran for a career-high 122 yards, 155 yards last week, sorry. And we'll see that offense continue to thrive, as well as the defense, as we're about to see that kick off.
Yeah, and Caleb Mary kicking off here. It's worth giving Caleb Mary a shout-out, just as we talked about the potent offense of the Thunder. Just very hard to find any weak spots. Mary has been one of the strong points for his offense. He's now 22 for 24 on extra points this season, kicking well above 90%, which is great to see, especially at this collegiate level, to have such a strong kicker there to make sure you're always picking up as many points as possible every time you score a touchdown.
Yeah, providing yourself with that safety net so that you're not feeling the risk of, do I need to go for 2 every time? It's actually incredibly helpful to just have that consistency there, which they've found with Caleb Mary.
So this will be the Carroll offense on the field for the first time. They'll be starting on their own 27. Josh Raby, the quarterback for them, he goes with a handoff here to number 30. That's Nick Legnioli.
Yeah, Legnioli there with the inside run. Not able to find much room with the defensive line collapsing in on it. You see the guard and center, as we saw in the Thrivent Financial replay, not able to beat the defensive tackles, and so they're not able to get much.
Raby rolling out, looking for his receiver. He had an open man, but not able to haul it in. That pass was intended for number 8, who
yeah, we get the nice outcut there from the receiver. He's able to get himself open, but not able to bring it in. A little bit too low on the throw on the run from Raby there, and now puts Carroll into a 3rd and long, which they do not want to be in against this defense.
And that pass, was intended for J.R. Muth, who had a great game for his team last
line. Defensive line has been a strong point for Wheaton all year. Able to blow past his defender, pick up his 4th sack of the year, putting him just 2nd on the team now. And Carroll's offense having a 3rd and long, like we mentioned, it's not a good spot against Wheaton's defense. They've been great against pass coverage all year long, and that was another example right there, picking up a sack.
And that'll be McNeil Stout taking the fair catch there, and that is a great point. And understandable to see a sideline warning after a defensive play like that, just absolutely blowing up whatever the Carroll offense was hoping to see. Nice to see a penalty that's a little more of a warning than an actual issue. And this short punt here, again into the wind,
gives Wheaton once again great field position to start off this drive.
Yep, 46. They're on their own 46, excuse me. Bowers under center here with Giovanni Weeks deep in the backfield. Bowers gives it to Weeks, who has a little bit of time to build up some acceleration, and Weeks just bulldozes ahead. Looks like he's going to pick up a yard or two there.
If you want to look at the strength of a running back, when he goes into a massive pile like this, you can't even see the ball, and the ball still carries forward. You watch the pile get pushed back by the running back. When one man can push a pile of 8 people like that, that's how you really can see the strength of a running back like Weeks.
Yeah, Weeks is just such a strong player. Last year had a historic season, was a second-team All-American, if I remember correctly, and that's obviously very impressive. And this season he's been very good, averaging a high yardage per carry, and that's Giovanni Weeks showing another facet of his game, which is his ability to catch. Weeks just such a threat in every aspect, whether it's using his strength or his speed. They're able to pick up about 5 yards, so now Wheaton will be facing a 3rd and 4 here.
Absolutely. Weeks has been really impressive all across the board. He leads the team in both rushing touchdowns and receiving touchdowns thus far. As you mentioned, he was a second-team all-region last year. He has been a D3 Player of the Week this year already. Bowers with a nice rush there. Oh, and a nice spin move to get up with a 10-yard gain. Once again, showing off his legs from a quarterback. The rushing game has been really strong, and it hasn't been led by Weeks so far in this game, although he's been great. Bowers has been moving it up and down the field.
Yeah, and just Bowers is just such an impressive player. And for those of you who've been watching Wheaton football for a long time, Bowers new to the program this year, transfer from Division I Liberty University, but just making his presence felt from week 1. We talked earlier about that top completion percentage. He's in the top 5, throwing 73% completion. Here is Giovanni Weeks, rips off a run. He's on the near sideline now, able to just find space, picks up a massive chunk of yardage, and just as we were talking about Bowers picking up those yards, Giovanni said, "Don't forget, I'm here too."
You can do, I can do better. Weeks with a great run there, and it's really highlighted by Tyler Gaudier's block there. He goes into motion into the slot, so he's inside, and he just levels the linebacker he's supposed to take out Weeks. Weeks is able to get to the outside and pick up a great gain for the Thunder offense.
Bowers now looking at the sideline. This will be Christian Karstens in the backfield, giving Giovanni Weeks a well-earned breather. Bowers surveying. He finds Karstens out of the backfield. Karstens jetting up the near sideline, moving through the defense, and he's brought down finally by 2 defenders after picking up a nice gain there on the short pass. Karstens just has been great this year in his reserve minutes, able to come in last week for an injured Giovanni Weeks and really just play really, really well. He's just been so important in the minutes that he's been able to have. And Giovanni Weeks will be back in now after getting a play off after his long run.
That was a great catch and run there by Karstens. He's averaging 13.5 yards per catch already this year. He's got so much speed. When he gets the ball in open space like that, he's dangerous, as we just saw.
And that'll be a pass from Bowers to Tyler Gautier for the touchdown. 2 touchdown passes on the day already for Will Bowers. The Thunder now 13-0 over the visiting Pioneers with over 5 minutes left still here in this opening quarter. Wheaton scoring on both of their offensive possessions. Once again, we see a very similar play to the last one. Just a short cross route there from Gautier this time. Bowers connects, and that's another touchdown.
As we watch the extra point here, once again going in, a great kick by Caleb. Oh, I'm sorry, not going in. That's a tough angle from up here. So Mary's not able to put that one through, but Bowers still able to connect on another touchdown pass. Last week, putting up 5 touchdowns to carry the Wheaton offense. Thought that was impressive. He's out to do it again here this week. As we saw in the Thrivent Financial replay, a good crossing route, like you mentioned, towards the goalpost. Able to beat the defender with a nice shimmy at the start to give himself just enough space for Bauer to put it right in front of him for the touchdown.
Yeah, and Bowers now throwing 7 for 7, so hasn't missed a pass yet, and he's got 2 touchdowns already. He's also got 41 rushing yards. So Bowers already stuffing the stat sheet And we're not even done with the first quarter, folks. This will be the Thunder. They're able to also have the advantage of kicking off with the win, so Mary will have a little bit of assistance on this kick here. And the Carroll offense will be back out after their initial drive where they went 3 and out following the Jaden Ferlita sack. So the Carroll offense will hope to get a little bit more going here. As a nice kick return there from Carroll, able to pick up some nice yardage there.
Yeah, it's another good good return from Keon Miller. Last year he was an all-conference kick returner for Carroll, and he's once again been one of their stars on that side of the ball with the special teams. Looks like there might be a block in the back here, which will help Wheaton out, pushing them back.
Okay. I need you guys to go quiet for a minute. Hey, Glenn.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team, number 38. Half the distance to the goal. First down, Carroll.
Ball is brought to the 10-yard line. First down and 10 for the Pioneers.
We'll still have video, but commentary.
Folks, sorry, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here on our end, so we will still have video provided, but we will be going silent on commentary for the next few minutes while we get this issue resolved. Thank you for your patience. No.
Ball's at the 12-yard line. Tackle on the play by number 1, Riley Schwartz. Third down and 9.
We can just
Number 30, Leg Naomi with the carry. Tackle on the play, number 93, Braden Anthony. Ball's at the 15-yard line. First down and 5. Punter Saker with a fair catch. 50-yard line, a midfield first down and 10 for the Thunder. Pass was incomplete, intended for number 2, Matthew Tucker. Second down and 10. Number 30, Weeks with the ball. Tackle on the play by number 92, Riley Staub. Ball is blocked at the 45-yard line. 3rd down and 5.
From the Wheaton defense, the offense now back on the field. This will be Bowers once again leading his offense here. Missed a throw just a few plays ago to a wide open Matthew Tucker. Just a little miscue there. But this time connects with Tyler Gauthier.
It's a nice pass there just to pick up the 1st down to Gauthier. Nice quick in, just staying in front of that no-fly zone that Carroll's zone defense is trying to hold, which works out well for Wheaton when they just need a couple of yards there to pick up the 1st.
Yeah, great just accuracy there from Bowers, able to connect on all distance of passes here. He's just already having such a great game. This time he'll go with a toss to Giovanni Weeks, who goes to the far sideline, cuts up, and is able to be brought down by the Carroll defense after a diving tackle from the defender. But Giovanni Weeks, look no further than the Thrivent Financial replay to see the speed that Gio just brings. You can see with a full head of steam, he just absolutely jets up the sideline there, just gets past Clem, able to keep moving, looking for that trip to the end zone, but not able to get there.
Yeah, Carroll's lucky that Jake Binkowski is able to catch him up there. With the speed of Weeks, he was flying down the field. That was looking like another touchdown for him to continue his career so far. It's another wide receiver screen pass there, this time to Matthew Tucker. They get the start of it looking good, just can't quite beat the chasing linebacker on the outside. Oh, correction, that's a defensive lineman chasing him down from the outside. That's pretty impressive there from number 42 on Carroll's defense. But with that, now Wheaton is inside their own 10, looking for another touchdown pass here from Bowers, or a rush up the middle from Weeks. Either one has worked really well for the Wheaton offense so far.
Yeah, and Tucker was brought down that last play by Will Campbell, the standout defensive freshman for the Pioneers, as Giovanni Weeks puts in his first touchdown of the day off of the short rush there. Giovanni Weeks punching in yet another touchdown for his Wheaton Thunder. The Thunder now up 19-0 on the visiting Pioneers with just about a minute 15 left on the clock here in this first quarter. Caleb Mary will line up for another extra point attempt, his 3rd of the game. He made his first, missed the 2nd. We'll hope to connect here on his 3rd.
As he is able to put that one through, I won't mess that up again. So we saw that run up the middle like we had mentioned. As you see on the Thrivent Financial replay, it's a nice trap play here with the guard coming around the outside to blow up the middle linebacker that's trying to come in. And with that, there's nobody in front of Weeks. He's just able to waltz into the end zone. It's a great job blocking there by left guard Paul Fay.
Yeah, and no, we were talking pre-broadcast about just where both teams are coming from into this game. Carroll 4-2 in conference play. They've been very competitive. We talked about thinking that this game between the Thunder and the Pioneers could end up being competitive, but early looking like the Thunder just have a very strong hold on the pace and the storyline of this game. They've just been so dominant already putting up 3 touchdowns, forcing the Carroll offense into 2 3-and-outs already. And the Thunder defense will hope to produce yet another 3-and-out here to end the first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Time of possession-wise, this game has not been close. It's felt like the Wheaton offense has been on the field the entire time, with Carroll not really able to do much of anything on really either side of the ball, offense or defense.
Yeah, and that'll be a nice little kick return again from Carroll's very decorated, very impressive returner. And the Carroll offense will be back on the field here. We've got 1 minute and 8 seconds left here in the first quarter. Carroll taking over at their own 25. So about 75 yards to go to get into the end zone. The Wheaton defense will look to put an end to any thoughts of scoring here. Josh Raby picks up a low snap and hands off quickly to his running back, who's able to jump in to his line. Doesn't look like he picked up anything there. Looks like he picked up, 1 yard. That was Nick Legnaoli.
Yeah, Legnaoli trying to run it up the middle there. It's tough for him, especially, we've talked about the strength of Weeks, but on the other side, there's a pretty massive size difference here. Legnaoli's only 170 pounds going up against the defensive tackles for Wheaton, who are both above 270. There's a pretty large difference there that's tough to overcome for him.
And this is Josh Raby trying to evade the Wheaton defense. He's brought down after snaking through, trying to create something with his legs there. He was just pursued by defenders from all over the place. You can see the defensive lineman. You've got a cornerback in there, just everyone coming in, making sure nothing came out of that. It'll be 3rd and 8 now. The Carroll offense, we'll see if they get a play out before the end of the quarter, and they do. This is Raby again. Nice long pass from Raby, and he gets his man, and that's a first down to end the first quarter. Nice to see Carroll's offense showing a little bit of a sign of life there, as Raby able to extend the play with his legs.
That's the end of the first quarter.
And he finds a receiver open down the field. That was number 2, Keon Miller, able to take that one, and Keon Miller also serving as the returner for his team.
Yeah, Miller's their leading receiver so far this year, along with the 4 touchdowns. They're able to find a little bit of opening there with the deep pass to the outside, with the zone coverage looking to stay over the top. They weren't able to get over there in time, and so Miller finds his open spot to pick up a good solid chunk of yardage for Carroll. Wheaton's going to need to respond here. After sending just 3 men on a 3rd and long, I would expect a little bit more pressure, try to make Raby get rid of the ball before he's able to be comfortable.
And while we're waiting here for the second quarter to get started, just a quick CCIW football update. Augustana playing North Park. Augustana up 14-0 in the first. North Central up 7-0 on Wash U. Great matchup there between 2 undefeated teams. Elmhurst and Milliken locked at 0s still in their game. And that is what we've got going for the CCIW as far as football goes. Obviously, you're here watching Carroll and Wheaton matchup, with Wheaton having 20 and Carroll having 0. We'll keep you updated on CCIW scores throughout the afternoon.
That's a good rush there from Legnaoli. It's a great job by Carroll's tight end, Reed Breckheimer, the freshman, able to take a nice block on the linebacker to free Legnaoli up to pick up some yardage. So with a 2nd and short now, we will likely see a lot more pressure here from Wheaton, with the 4 defensive linemen trying to bring it in, as well as either a linebacker or one of the safeties coming down to keep those short passes contained.
Yep, so this will be Raby again. He hands off to Legnaoli, who is able to pick up a few yards depending on the spot here. Looks like he will not have enough to pick up the first, but he'll be very close. 3rd down and 2 for the Carroll offense. So short yardage situation. Carroll will hope to pick up another first down on what's been their most successful offensive drive so far.
Yeah, on that play, Wheaton rolls into a cover 3, bringing the safety, Sam Bell, down. He's able to be right there. He could have made a tackle for loss in the backfield, but the running back just gets away from him, goes for a little outside on an arm tackle, is not able to get it done.
Josh Raby rolling out quickly, and he finds Keon Miller, who drops his man. That was Sam Bell in the coverage there, and Bell just missed the tackle there, and Miller able to take advantage and pick up a large chunk of yardage. If you watch here in the Thrivent Financial replay, Raby just finds Miller right away, and Bell just barely missing that tackle. Miller just with some great speed and agility to get out of that, and Miller jetting up the sideline, picking up a big amount of yardage there, and this will be Carroll in the red zone for the first time this game.
Yeah, you can see why Keon Miller's such a great return man with that speed. He's able to blow past Bell on that, and then able to pick up that yardage. Carroll there trying to go for a screenplay to their tight end, Breckheimer, but it's not really able to get much done. The linebackers can sniff that out, see it coming, and so you see number 36 there able to blow that play up before it can get anywhere.
Yeah, it's reserve Keegan Babbitt coming in, making a great play there, stopping anything from happening. This will be Carroll once again, 2nd and 7 here. They look to their sideline. Raby here hoping to make something happen as they get close to the end zone here. Raby with the snap, he's looking. Short pass intercepted. Sam Bell with the end zone interception. Bell, after missing that early tackle on Keon Miller, making a play to make up for it. Nice pick there by Keon Miller, and there's a flag on the play. It happened after the interception. We could see another sideline warning here, but we'll see here as we're about to hear from the referee about what this flag is about. But great play there by Sam Bell.
It's a great job making up for it. He picks up his 5th interception, retaking the team lead on that play.
The ruling on the field is an interception. After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 5. That penalty be enforced half the distance to the goal. That's number 5's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
So that'll be Virgil Cannon, linebacker for the Thunder, picking up an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that will be enforced.
It's unfortunate for Wheaton to get that penalty, but they'll still take it with keeping Carroll out of the end zone. You saw Carroll's quarterback, Raby, looks to the tight end or wing back, Breckheimer, to start that play. Sees he's covered, and so he panics a little bit, throws it, tries to get to the back of the end zone, but Sam Bell's there to take it over.
And this is Christian Karstens with the carry here, trying to get them away from their own end zone, and he's able to pick up some yards. He'll give Wheaton a little bit more breathing room, and yeah, despite the penalty, great to see the Wheaton defense able to come up with a clutch takeaway, stopping the Carroll offense from putting any points on the board.
Yeah, Wheaton going with the Wildcat there on that play after, as you mentioned, a great stop from Wheaton's defense. Trying to mix it up with the Karstens faking the handoff to Bowers this time and taking it to the outside where he uses his speed to take advantage of that.
Karstens on another carry here, able to run just up the middle there, pick up just a little bit of yardage. The Thunder just trying to get themselves as far away from their own end zone as possible.
Yeah, there wasn't much room there for Karstens on the inside rush. That's where you see Carroll's defense, which is led by outside linebacker Will Campbell. He's really able to come up and stop that play before it goes anywhere.
3rd and 1 here for the Thunder. They brought in some extra offensive line help here on this play. They're likely going to just bust it right up the middle, and they do, but actually it's a handoff to Ben Juska. Nice play call there, able to give it to Juska, kind of misdirect the defense into thinking they were going to run up the middle, but Juska able to cut to the outside there, pick up that first down.
Yeah, get all those people on the right side so they're looking that way, and then we give it to Juska, who's essentially playing the fullback role on a fullback dive. Not normally a fullback, but he's able to use his size to just muscle through and pick up a first.
So the Thunder now with the fresh set of downs on their own 27. Bowers, there's a good pressure coming from the Carroll defense, and it's a nice pass there from Bowers. He's able to find Tyler Gauthier, who's picked up quite a few receptions already this game. So Gauthier picking up the first down there on a nice pass from Bowers.
Yeah, that exactly is what Carroll's trying to do, is put all of that pressure on to Bowers before he's able to release the ball. But this time they're not able to reach him, and that leaves Gauthier wide open because their zones, they have to spread out so much with the loss of a defender in the backfield, or in the back 7.
So this will be Bowers again, finding Matthew Tucker on another pass. Tucker will, the ball will be spotted well past where Tucker was brought down on forward progress, but another nice short pass, quick release there. Bowers able to stay calm in the pocket despite some pressure from his right side, able to deliver that ball. This will be 2nd and 2 for the Thunder offense, now past the midfield mark. Bowers against pressure, has to throw that ball away, and Bowers faced pressure right away, and looks like there's a flag on the play here. We could see a roughing the passer here.
Definitely miscommunication, giving Carroll the ability to just fly right to the quarterback unhindered. But we might see that roughing the passer like you said. It's tough on Carroll's defenders, don't know what they're really supposed to do. Oh, no, it's going to actually go against Wheaton, it looks like.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 13. That's a spot foul, loss of down.
Yeah, the
Third
intentional
down.
grounding essentially giving Carroll the sack. Although those players, I'm sure, would rather have a sack on their stat sheet. But Bowers really had nowhere to go. Has 2 men in his face and just has to throw it away. Not able to get it out of bounds, and so the intentional grounding penalty.
Yep. That's just a situation where you hope that you can throw that pass away and get it far enough out of your hands to get it out of bounds, like you said. That'll be an intentional grounding, which, like you said, will just basically be a sack. But it doesn't matter as Bowers delivers a timely strike to number 11, McNeil Stout, who picks up a nice big gain there for the Thunder on the 3rd and long. Bowers just delivering a pinpoint strike here on the Thrivent Financial replay, finding a moving McNeil Stout, who catches it, moves up along the sideline, picks up a nice big gain, and the Thunder now with a fresh set of downs on the Carroll 31.
It's a great job by Stout, able to use his speed. It's always fun when you can see 3 guys chasing behind your receiver before the ball's even thrown. They all know where it's going, but they can't catch up to the speed of Stout.
This will be Bowers once again looking. He's rolling, moving through, and Bowers using his legs again, able to pick up some yardage there. It won't be too much, but it's nice to see Bowers able to keep pretty much any play alive there. You can see he's going to spin as he avoids the pressure there, keeps moving through, is eventually brought down by the defensive lineman, but Bowers able to pick up 4 yards there.
Yeah, not really finding much deep, which is where the receivers were going, so Bowers is able to take it himself. Probably going to look for the same thing, a quick in route or a deep out here.
This will be Bowers once again, and he looks for the end zone, and unfortunately not able to connect, and there will be a flag there. Looks like this could be pass interference based on where and when the flag was thrown. His intended receiver was Tyler Gauthier. If you look on the replay here, Bowers just a nice arcing pass looking for Gauthier, and yeah, with that defender not looking at the ball but causing pressure, we're likely going to see pass interference here.
Defense, number 12. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
It's a great job by Gauthier on that pass. It's underthrown, so he's not really able to make the play that he needs to. So instead, goes after the defender, really runs into him to sell that pass interference call, which provides Wheaton not the touchdown that it could have been, but a new set of downs inside the 20, so that they have a much better shot here as they line up with a heavy set on the left side with the 2 receivers and the tight end.
Yeah, and that was Clem for Carroll picking up that unfortunate penalty. Karstens with the carry here, not able to go very far, but still picking up a little bit of yardage. And yeah, like you said, Gauthier just did a really great job understanding the game with that high football IQ, just able to draw a flag there, give his team a better opportunity to get in the end zone. And Wheaton will make some substitution. Matthew Tucker will come off the field. We see Ben Bonga out there on the far side. Bonga hasn't had a reception yet this game, but he's had a great season so far for his Thunder. We're definitely going to see him at some point this game. Bowers, Carson's in the backfield with him, and that will be play whistle dead.
Before the snap, timeout. Wheaton, their first charge of the half.
So that'll be a timeout for Wheaton before the play was able to get off there. Wheaton with 20, Carroll with 0. Great game so far here. We've seen Carroll have some moments where they've had some signs of life. They were really close to getting into the end zone, but they were picked off by Sam Bell after that big pickup by Keon Miller. Yeah, just Carroll just not able to catch a break here. We just saw them able to have the opportunity to make a stop there, but unfortunately got called for the pass interference, and just Carroll just not able to get much going today.
Yeah, Wheaton's definitely dominated the game so far, up 20-0 with still halfway through the second quarter. You see Wheaton's offense, particularly with Gio Weeks and Will Bowers, have really carried so far. Gio Weeks now with 72 rushing yards, which is going to bring him higher and higher on the career rushing yard leaderboard. Last week he entered the top 15 as he reached 2,000 career rushing yards. He's now just 20 yards away from reaching the number 13 spot, passing Albie Harris from the 1963 Thunder. So the deep history of Wheaton's football program is being put to the test against Gio Weeks in his career so far this year.
Gio not in the game right now. That'll be Christian Carson's. Will Bowers looking, targeting to the back corner.
Oh,
and
what a catch!
Brought in. What a touchdown. Christian Carson's the running back, pulling in that insanely athletic touchdown catch. Wow. That's another highlight play for the Thunder, catching that amazing pass in the same spot where Matthew Tucker made a great catch just 2 weeks ago. That'll be something that Carson's remembers for a while. Man, what an impressive play there. Great pass by Bowers, but even better catch by Karstens.
Yeah, you mentioned Karstens in there, and he's looking to get some action. There's that action for him. Puts the one arm out, able to bring it in as he hits the ground, hold on to it with just a fantastic catch for Wheaton. Like you mentioned, back-to-back home games now with just highlight reel catches in the back corner of the end zone. As we see on the Thrivent Financial replay, Bowers stays in the pocket, delivers it down to the back left corner of the end zone, and you see Karstens reach up with one hand and just bring it back to his chest. And does he keep it? He does. He keeps it there, able to keep it over his body, doesn't let it touch the ground, and the fist pump celebration from Karstens. It's a great job there.
Well, and Bowers just showing just a knowledge of his guys. Karstens, we know, has great speed, and when he gets matched up against a linebacker, you really got to take advantage of that mismatch. Just Karstens with just so much more speed and agility than the matchup against the linebacker, and able to really capitalize on that with an amazing catch.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, we get him matched up against a middle linebacker trying to go man coverage from the red zone there, and it is not able to work out. That's always a tough matchup for a middle linebacker, especially against someone like Karstens, who has so much speed. He's averaging now over 15 yards per catch for the season. It's been very impressive to see the duo of Weeks and Karstens in the running game so far.
Keon Miller will take the fair catch here off the Caleb Mary kickoff. The Carroll offense will be on the field here. We've got 7 minutes and 21 seconds left here in the first half. Thunder with a 27-point lead to the visiting Pioneers, who have yet to score. They will hope to make that change here on this offensive possession.
Yeah, so far for this defense from the Thunder, it's been very impressive, especially on the defensive line. You've already seen Jaden Ferlita with 4 tackles on the day as a defensive lineman, just completely shutting down Carroll's running game. Carroll hasn't had the ball for very long, and that's the biggest reason why. As this play is now whistled dead, and they're going to go back even farther.
There's no foul for delay of game. Timeout, Carroll. Their first charge of the half.
So it'll actually be a timeout for Carroll. No flag on the play. Carroll hoping to regroup a little bit after that last touchdown there by the Thunder. Carroll with plenty of time left on the clock also to make something happen here, but the Wheaton defense has certainly not been easy to do anything against today.
Yeah, Carroll going into this game, as you mentioned, we thought there might be some competitiveness. Both teams 4-2. Carroll coming off of a couple of wins so far, but what we've seen is that their playmakers haven't really been able to get the ball in space. The only time we really saw a big play from them, Keon Miller was able to get a little bit of open space, but other than that, we haven't seen Miller or Legnioli or Jackson Case, some of their best players, really able to get the ball outside of just right at the line.
Yeah, this will be Josh Raby fighting against the pressure, able to escape, and Raby will take the ball in himself and hope to pick up some yards. He's able to turn what could have been a big loss there into a bit of a gain. So you can see on the Thrivent Financial replay, the Thunder defense just collapsing that pocket so quickly, but Raby able to stay aware, get out of that, but he's finally brought down after being pursued by Jalen Schaefer. Great tackle there by Schaefer, able to stick with him, even with a hard angle there, and bring him down.
It's a great job by Schaefer, the leading tackler. after this game, Philip Lachurko is definitely going to get a talking to from not being able to bring down Raby on that sack. He has a great job, but he's not. He collapses a little bit too much, chasing him down from his front hip instead of his back, and so Raby's able to spin away from him.
That was a little short pickup there, as we can hear the train rumbling by in the background. The 12th man of the Thunder, as some would say. Just over 6 minutes left here. 3rd and 2 for the Carroll offense. Raby with a quick pass, and it's broken up after great coverage there by number 1 Riley Schwartz, who's had a great season. He has 4 interceptions for the Thunder, just behind Sam Bell's now 5 interceptions, but great coverage there by Schwartz, just able to interfere there at the right moment.
Great physical coverage by a safety there. The defensive backs known a little more for their speed than the physicality, but Riley Schwartz is having none of that. He was a D3 team of the week earlier this year, and he showed why right there, just completely shutting that down, able to essentially lay a hit stick on the receiver before he's able to bring the ball in.
This will be another punt for the Carroll offense. Fair catch called by McNeil Stout, and Carroll able to be kicking with the win now for the first time this game, which they will certainly welcome after a lot of their kicks have gone short, kicking into such a breeze. The Thunder offense now will take over with exactly 6 minutes left here in the first half. The Thunder offense starting on their own 33 will hope to make yet another trip to the end zone as they have a strong lead here over the visiting Carroll Pioneers. And Gio Weeks is back on the field again after we got to see a lot of Christian Karsten's last offensive possession. And that'll be a toss to Weeks, who moves through and is brought down right around the line of scrimmage. Looks like it'll be a small gain at most.
Yeah, as we see on the Thrivent Financial replay, go for that toss play again, which we saw break for Weeks earlier this game. Carroll's defense has learned from it there, as we see number 39 for Carroll's defense making a good tackle there. He reads that play so well and is able to essentially keep Weeks from getting it to the outside.
Yep, so we'll have a 2nd and 10 after a no gain there in the last one. Bowers looking to the sideline, communicating with his offensive staff. Bowers now with the ball. And he finds Matthew Tucker wide open over the middle. Tucker, almost able to escape. Nice tackle there by the defender, but wow, Tucker, as you can just see, not very long into the play. I mean, that's maybe a second or two in the pocket that Bowers has to throw, and Tucker able to create so much separation in a short amount of time, almost able to break off a big touchdown there, but was brought down by a great tackle there from the Carroll defense, saving them from another 6 points.
Yeah, it's a great read by Bowers. He sees that they only have 1 deep safety there, and he knows that the middle of the field deep is going to be open. Hits Tucker there up the middle off of a nice speedy route there from Tucker, and he's just a step away from taking it to the house, but not quite able to.
Tyler Gauthier showing some strength. Wow, look at him push through those tackles as he pushes through 3 or 4 defenders. Instead of not being able to pick up a first, he's able to push through. Look at Tyler Gauthier on this play. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. 5, 6
7
needed to take him down. Impressive play from Tyler Gauthier. The receivers for the Thunder this game are just having a heyday against the Carroll defense. They've been playing absolutely fantastic. This will be Will Bowers once again. Bowers having a great game as well.
Ooh, that's lucky.
Against the blitz, Giovanni Weeks. Doesn't matter. You're going to need more than that to take him down, and Giovanni Weeks walks into the end zone untouched. That's another touchdown for the Thunder. Weeks now with 2 touchdowns on the day off of a nice long run there. That'll be Thunder 33, Carroll 0.
It's just a great run from Weeks, but gets a little bit lucky with the safety falling down on his face before he tries to take a step on the turf, gets eaten up, and it ends up on his face just watching Weeks walk into the end zone. As you mentioned, Carroll sending 2 linebackers up the middle, trying to pressure the quarterback, but we're able to hand it off and get it to the left side off of a cut just before they reach there, and then there's nobody left to stop Weeks.
Mary makes good on the extra point. We'll see here on the replay that number 42, Will Campbell, just a little bit of an over pursuit there, and he was able to get through the line very effectively, but just missed the handoff there. Bowers and Weeks both staying calm as they were able to get the ball to each other, and Weeks just doing the rest.
Yeah, there was essentially nobody left to beat once he gets past the line. That's always very fun for the running back when he doesn't have to even worry about it. There's just walk into the end zone, and Weeks will definitely take that. That's another big gain for him, and that should put him past both the number 14 and 13 spots on the all-time rushing leaderboard. So he passes Albie Harris from 1963 and Brian Scholl from 1968 to now put himself 13th all-time, with that should reach 2,100 rushing yards for him for his great career so far in these last 2 years.
Yeah, and there's not really a much better stat to talk about than just where he stands in the all-time rushing list. Giovanni Weeks, just what a player for the Thunder. He's just been so good in all aspects of the offensive side of the ball. A great running back, very clearly, but also a very talented receiver. This will be the Thunder defense now back on the field after that nice offensive possession. Thunder with 34 here in the first half. They are just really piling it on. And at this rate, we're likely going to get to see a lot of reserves get some minutes this game, which is always fun. But this will be the Carroll offense once again. So Josh Raby at the helm here for his team, trying to make something happen, and he will hand off to Legnaoli, who's able to pick up a nice little chunk of yardage there. And excuse me, that was Jackson Case, not Legnaoli. That was Jackson Case with the carry, able to pick up some yards. That'll be 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain there by Case.
It's been interesting. Case has actually been their leading rusher so far this year, but we've seen a lot more of Legnaoli. Trying to mix it up here with Case because they haven't really gotten much else going. But once again, he reaches the same problem. Their offensive line has not been able to stop Wheaton's defensive line at all.
Yeah, so Raby there, as you can see, just getting the ball out. A little bit of a miscommunication there, but with the collapsing pocket, just trying to get it out somewhere away from all the defenders coming in. Like you said, there's a lot of potential future advantages to having young players be playing such significant minutes against good teams, but in a game like this, when you have such an experienced and talented defensive line like the Thunder, they're going to really just wreak havoc on any young lineman.
False start. Offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, so that's actually Kevin Whitman picking up the false start there, the sophomore left tackle for Carroll. He is the same person that just got beat on the last play. Kuhn came flying in with the speed. Whitman's really just not able to catch up to him, and then really in his head, as you see a lot from linemen, and there you get the false start.
That's Raby now unloading and almost intercepted. Virgil Cannon had his hands on it, bobbled the ball just a little bit. And look at the Thriving Financial replay. Even though he didn't come up with the interception, that was great coverage from Cannon, who is a linebacker, don't forget. Look at him just able to stay with his man, jump in front of that route, and almost come away with an interception. Great defense there from Cannon on the 3rd down, and it'll now be 4th and 12, so the Carroll offense will find themselves punting once again. Nice punt there with the win. McNeil Stout taking it, and McNeil Stout, nice little return there, able to show a little burst of speed, able to pick up just a few yards after taking that punt in. You can see here, able to cut through, sees his blockers, takes advantage. The Thunder now with good field position there on their own 45, so just 55 yards to go for them. They've got 3 minutes and 2 seconds left in the first half, so plenty of time for an offense like the Thunder to get in the end zone once again. we could be seeing 40 points for them on the scoreboard before we reach halftime.
Absolutely. It's been pretty easy going for the Thunder offense so far. I definitely want to shout out Virgil Cannon after that last play. As we mentioned, the last time the Thunder had the ball, it's so tough for a linebacker matched up with a running back. That's a linebacker matched up with a wide receiver, and Cannon still keeps up with him and is able to get a nice pass breakup on that play.
Yeah, and that was Giovanni Weeks here on the carry, and you could see number 91 just holding on to his jersey, refusing to let Weeks go, and he's able to stop Weeks. One of the few ways that I've seen this season work in stopping Giovanni, which is apparently just pulling on his jersey there. So that was a loss of 2 actually on this. Will be 2nd and 12 here for the Thunder. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in this game, and man, what a showing so far from the offense. I mean, we talked, like I've already mentioned pre-broadcast, about how this could potentially be a pretty competitive game just with some of the feistiness of this Carroll team, but so far the Wheaton Thunder just absolutely just controlling every element of this game. Pretty much no miscues to speak of, no matter where you look. I mean, you'd have to really be nitpicking. I think the biggest thing you can complain about right now is the fact that they've missed an extra point, but when you're up 34 points, 1 point doesn't feel like too big of a deal.
No, absolutely not. If you wonder how strong the Wheaton offense has been so far in this game, that was the first negative play they've had the entire game, and it was just a loss of 2. Once again, Giovanni Weeks and Will Bowers have been able to just dominate on the offensive side of the ball, and there hasn't been much opposition to it so far.
Matthew Tucker picks up that short pass. That'll be about a 5 to 7 yard gain there for the Thunder. 3rd and 6 now for them. So on 3rd down, they'll hope to give themselves a fresh set of downs. The clock running now. We've got just about 2 minutes and 15 seconds left here in the first half. Thunder at midfield now.
It's going to be a quick out to Stout and potentially here. Oh, and Wheaton's going to check on their plays after reading the Carroll defense. They have trips on the left side, probably looking for something deep, at least as an option.
This will be Bowers. Quick drop back, able to find McNeil Stout for the first down. The offense moving quickly.
Yeah, so there, if you see just how effective this offense can be, Bowers not with his best throw, but Stout's able to bail him out. That's why Bowers has such a high completion percentage. He's been super accurate himself, but has such athletic receivers that can go get the ball and just pick up not huge gains, but just 5 yards at a time, able to move down the field like we've seen.
Yep, clock still running. Bowers was quick on that one, and Bowers hit as he throws. Oh, and just outside of the reach of Ben Bonga as Bowers passed, and Bowers was really hammered there. We'll see if you can see it on the Thrivent Financial replay, but right as that ball was leaving his hands, he was just leveled there by the Carroll defender. Still a really nice throw there. Bonga just a few steps shy of being able to pull that in. That certainly would have been a touchdown for Bonga. But man, what a hit there from the Thunder, from the Carroll defense, excuse me. Bauer still out there, ready to make something else happen. He'll hand off to Giovanni Weeks, who will get nothing up the middle. We've got a minute and 10 seconds left on the clock about now.
Yeah, Carroll's defense is starting to respond here. That's a good job by the defensive tackle there. Number 91, Clayton Huber, the freshman, able to spin off of his defender and do it quickly, which is tough for a defensive lineman to do, to get a spin move effective because they've got so much to spin. But he's able to do that and just get right into the face of Weeks and put him to a stop.
Yeah, Thunder not having too much success running up the middle, but that certainly hasn't stopped the Thunder offensive players as Giovanni Weeks going from the far side of the field to the near as he cuts across through the defense, picking up a nice big chunk of yardage.
It's a nice three-step drop, and he's able to find Weeks just on a quick cut to the outside. Weeks takes the ball and does not stop running, goes from one side to the other.
Bowers finding Juska, and that'll be a touchdown, Thunder, with just 20 seconds left on the clock. Ben Juska was wide open along the sideline. There was only one defender between him and the end zone, and he had a block from his fellow offensive player there to help him out, and Juska able to just bring it into the end zone easy. Bowers making it look easy out there as well. Bowers has just been a step ahead of the defense this whole game, just delivering strike after strike. The Wheaton Thunder now with 40 against the visiting Pioneers.
Yeah, Wheaton, their offense moving faster than we can even talk about. As we see Juska with another great touchdown on that play. That's his third touchdown of the year for the sophomore with a, as you said, there's a flood concept here, so Juska is wide open because they're only defending the deeper receiver there. Looks like Bonga. And so Juska is able to just walk into the end zone once again. Another touchdown. That'll be Bowers' fourth touchdown already this game. He's putting up massive numbers for the Thunder so far. He's now at 19 touchdowns for the year. 5 touchdowns last week, 4 this week, and we still aren't even done with the first half.
Yeah, Bowers right now is sitting at 20 for 22, so for those of you keeping track at home, that's only 2 incompletions for Bowers in the first half. He's got 240 yards and 4 touchdowns, only sacked once. He's at a 91% completion percentage, so really holding up to his reputation as a really accurate quarterback. Giovanni Weeks is over 100 yards. So Gio with 12 attempts and 107 yards gained. So with that loss of 2 that he had earlier, he's sitting at 105 net yards. He's got 2 touchdowns. Matthew Tucker, Tyler Gauthier, Christian Carsons, and Ben Juska all have 1 receiving touchdown respectively. The Thunder offense just firing on all cylinders from the very beginning of this game. Man, what a showing it's been so far.
Yeah, it's absolutely a showing is what it's been. You have seen pretty much everyone you can think of on the offensive side. You could point out a highlight for them. Weeks, Bonga, Gauthier, Karstens. We definitely saw another great play from Juska with the touchdown. Matthew Tucker, McNeil Stout. It's just been everywhere. And that's, I'm sure, what Carroll's feeling like. It's just coming from everywhere. And they haven't been able to put a stop to it at all.
Tyler Raby handing off to his running back, who is able to pick up a fair amount of yardage with just a few seconds left on the clock. Now we've got 3 seconds left in the first half. That was a handoff to number 20, Jackson Case, who is able to just do the work there. He's able to push through the defense. The Carroll offense will have time to run one more play if they want to. Looks like they will. Again, the Thunder with a 41-point lead as we are about to enter halftime. And that'll be another handoff. This time, Case not able to pick up nearly as much. And that will be the conclusion of the first half. Before we go to break,
the end of the first half.
I'd like to give you guys a quick update across the CCIW from football. So Illinois Wesleyan sits at 31 to Carthage's 0. Augustana up 28-13 against North Park. North Central up 21-0 against the also undefeated Wash U. We'll get back to you in just a little bit after halftime. Thank you for joining us during this first half. Thank you for your patience as well with technical difficulties. The Thunder at 41, the visiting Pioneers at 0. The Thunder back to their normal ways of just dominating every facet of this game, and we'll see what the second half has in store for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to take a moment and make a special presentation to a member of the Wheaton College community. At the center of the track, we have Wheaton Athletics Director Mike Schauer, joined by Wheaton's head athletic trainer, Tricia Dieter. Today we're recognizing our second annual Thunder Thank You as we recognize a member of the Wheaton College staff that has partnered with the athletic department and went above and beyond the call in performing their role on campus, working with the athletics department. With today's Thunder Thank You, we honor Beth Walsh, the Director of Student Health Services here at Wheaton. First, Coach Schauer and the entire athletics department give a thank you to Beth and her team of Student Health Services as they have served athletics in a number of ways during their time here. With their work from assisting with illnesses and ailments to helping the athletic training staff coordinate athletic physicals, additionally, Beth was instrumental in the winter and spring of 2021 in helping Wheaton athletics resume intercollegiate competition during the COVID-19 pandemic. Without her tireless work and coordinating the many regulations with the NCAA, CCIW, and other entities, the resumption of play would have gone, not nearly have gone as smooth as it did. This time, Coach Trisha and Coach Schauer are presenting Beth with gifts and flowers in appreciation of her work with Wheaton Athletics as we give a thunder thank you to Beth Walsh.
Welcome to the Armourding Center for Music and the Arts. We are thrilled with the provision of this building for Wheaton College as it allows for professional training, opportunity, and experience for students, faculty, and staff, for many guests who come to this facility. We placed acoustics at the heart of the planning and the construction of this building, such that each room would sound beautiful and would best equip those using those spaces as they train and are equipped for the service to church and society. We are delighted that you are joining us and exploring the possibilities for you here in the Armourding Center for Music and the Arts. We are delighted that this building supports and encourages, makes possible artistic engagement in ways that we've not known before. But we most look forward to each person who would be here, a part of this vibrant artistic community of faculty, staff, students, and alumni, together joined in serving our Most High God.
Priscilla, and I'm an applied health science major from Portland, Oregon. Thanks for joining our tour today.
And I'm Blake. I'm a history and communication major from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to Wheaton. Let's get started. Established in 1860, Wheaton College is guided by its original mission for Christ and His kingdom, a mission to educate the whole person and prepare you to make the difference God is calling you to make. Our 2,400 undergraduate students come from all 50 states and over 70 countries to make Wheaton College their home for the next 4 years.
We're located in Wheaton, Illinois. Campus is only a short walk from a downtown area filled with coffee shops, parks, and restaurants. We're also next to a train stop that will take you directly into downtown Chicago. There, our students can access the arts, culture, internships, and job opportunities that the nation's third largest city provides. Also, your Wheaton student ID gets you free access to the Art Institute of Chicago, one of the largest art museums in the United States.
Our first stop is Blanchard Hall, the oldest and most iconic building on campus. Blanchard was built in 4 separate sections, beginning in 1853 and completed in 1927. It currently houses several academic departments and administrative offices. Since our founding, Wheaton has only had 8 presidents, starting with Jonathan Blanchard, a known abolitionist and believer in quality education for all. Our current president, Dr. Philip Wheaton, began his term in 2010, and the students are big fans of his. He regularly captains intramural teams, invites students over to his house for game nights, and if you ever need to find him, check the basketball courts around 6 a.m. He'll probably be playing his regularly scheduled pickup game in the Krauser Sports Complex.
Also featured in Blanchard Hall is our Missions Wall, a celebration of alumni who have gone on to serve in cross-cultural missions. Hundreds of names and decades of service around the world. Wheaton's commitment to academic excellence, the liberal arts, and education of the whole person will prepare you for whatever and wherever God is calling you, from the mission field to the boardroom.
We have over 50 majors, certificate programs, and accelerated master's programs. Our student-to-faculty ratio is about 10 to 1, and our average class size is about 23 students, which means you'll definitely get to know your professors. What's even better is that they will actually be intentional about getting to know you outside of the classroom, whether it be through office hours, meals in the dining hall, or even inviting students over to their homes for dinner. Few things make me happier than a home-cooked meal.
Wheaton values experiential learning for all students. We offer extensive study abroad opportunities through our Office of Global Programs and Studies. There are over 70 semester and summer programs. This next year, I'll be studying abroad through our Human Needs and Global Resources program, what we call Hunger. Hunger is an academic certificate program unique to Wheaton. It can be added to any major and includes on-campus coursework as well as a 6-month internship abroad, where you integrate your area of study with cross-cultural research and service.
Our next stop is Edmond Chapel. 3 times a week, students gather here for prayer and worship. Now I gotta be honest, having chapel 3 times a week seemed a little intimidating, but our chaplain's office does an incredible job at making chapel an engaging and enriching experience. We have diverse speakers from all over the world come to teach, as well as members from our own faculty, staff, and even student body. Chapel bands and student ensembles from our conservatory lead us in worship as well. Chapel is central to our mission because it refocuses our hearts and minds on God and on what Jesus is doing both in our lives and throughout the world. This large space also hosts concerts by Wheaton ensembles, guest artists, the annual talent show, and other student events run by our college union.
Armitage Center for Music and the Arts houses our Conservatory of Music. The conservatory provides professional training in music performance, music education, composition, and more with world-class faculty. Armitage was completely renovated in 2017 for our conservatory, with a recital hall, 2 recording studios, a digital keyboard lab, faculty studios, practice rooms, and more, all specifically designed with musical acoustics in mind. A new 650-seat concert hall and a large choral rehearsal room opened in August 2020, completing the 2nd stage of renovation. Dr. Michael Wilder, our Dean of the Conservatory, Arts, and Communication, frequently reminds us of the biblical importance of music and worship. Even if you're not a music major, you can participate in one of our many ensembles or take private lessons, and you can add a certificate in worship arts to any major. Coming to college to study the sciences, I didn't know if I'd be able to stay involved in music, but quickly found musical outlets in gospel choir and our co-ed a cappella group, Amplify a cappella. Even with ensembles I'm not involved in, there are plenty of opportunities to enjoy campus concerts and performances each semester.
Krauser Sports Complex is home to 21 NCAA Division III intercollegiate teams, who combined have won over 40 conference championships in the last 10 years. We also have 7 club sports teams and many student-led intramurals, including sand volleyball, inner tube water polo, and more. 80% of the student body is involved in the activities offered through the Krauser Sports Complex. So Krauser plays a big part in student life at Wheaton. It has practice gyms, a rock climbing wall, a fully equipped weight room, and a dance studio featuring group fitness classes. Also housed in Krauser is a 25-meter pool and King Arena, used by our varsity volleyball, wrestling, and basketball teams. Our varsity men's basketball team made a Division III Final Four appearance in 2019. Across campus, you will see McCulley Stadium, home to the Wheaton Thunder football team, who advanced to the Division III quarterfinals in 2019. And next to that is Joe Bean Stadium, home to our men's and women's soccer teams. Let's go Thunder! Wheaton is a residential campus, and 90% of our students live on campus all 4 years, whether in residence halls, apartments, or houses. If you're an incoming freshman, you'll be living in one of our 2 underclassmen residence halls, Fisher Hall or Smith-Traber Hall.
With 75% of our students coming from outside of Illinois, we aren't a school where students go home on the weekends. Instead, students invest in making Wheaton their home, and residence life is a prime example of how living in community is central to our lives as Christians and central to daily life at Wheaton. Dedicated residence life staff supports students mentally, physically, and spiritually. Student residence assistants on each floor plan events and community building opportunities, like the annual Oktoberfest, a contest specific to Smith-Traber Hall, where floors prepare and offer immersive, themed tours.
But if you ask me, I had way more fun at the Fisher Dodgeball Tournament.
However, I think we can all agree that Smith-Traber is clearly the superior residence hall.
That's hilarious. Even the visitors watching know that Fisher is obviously better.
Our next stop is Meyer Science Center. Rising from the rocks to the stars, with geology and environmental science on the lower level, and moving up to our observatory at the top, this structure is built on a grounded passion for learning through and from God's creation. Wheaton's commitment to the integration of faith and learning continues strongly through our study of the sciences. At Wheaton, we believe that all truth is God's truth, so the study of God's created order is both an academic and a spiritual pursuit. Almost all professors have their own labs where undergrad students conduct research alongside them. We offer rigorous preparation for pre-health tracks through our dedicated health professions office. As an applied health science major on the pre-nursing track, my hands-on learning experiences here have profoundly shaped my passion for the sciences. Getting to learn in the cadaver lab only deepened the way that I understand and engage my faith in relation to our physical embodiment. Meyer is also home to Perry the Mastodon, one of the most complete mastodon skeletons in North America. Found in nearby Glen Ellen in 1963, Perry was excavated by Wheaton geology students and now has inspired our Thunder mascot, Tor.
Beamer Student Center was named after Todd M. Beamer, a 1991 Wheaton alum who lost his life on Flight 93 during the 9/11 attacks. His famous words, "Let's roll," have become a motto to us here at Wheaton. Lower level Beamer, or low beams as we like to call it, is where you'll find study spaces, Sam's Coffee Shop, the Stoop Grill where you can grab some burgers and fries, a game room, the college post office, and the chaplain's office. Beamer also houses many of our student engagement offices, such as the Student Activities, the Office of Christian Outreach, the Office of Multicultural Development, and International Student Programs. not to mention more than 75 student-initiated clubs and student-led groups.
It also houses Anderson Commons, our main dining hall served by Bon Appetit. We've been consistently ranked among the top in the nation for our food, and Bon Appetit is committed to preparing locally sourced meals in their scratch kitchen. The dining hall is a great place to meet friends old and new, enjoy a meal with one of your professors, and delve even deeper into the campus community.
Right across from Beamer is our bookstore and the Center for Vocation and Career, or the CVC. The CVC prepares you to take your Wheaton education out into the world. With dedicated career coaches assigned to specific majors, they will provide plenty of opportunities for growth throughout your 4 years here. Offering more than just the traditional resume and interview help, the CVC helps you figure out who you are, what strengths you bring, and where God is calling you through a curriculum of self-reflection, career exploration, and a commitment to internships. They also help networking and introducing students to employers. Wheaton has an extensive and international network of alumni who love to connect with and offer opportunities to current students.
At Wheaton, you don't have to settle. Wheaton gives you an opportunity to become the person God is calling you to be and prepares you to make the difference God is calling you to make for Christ and His kingdom.
Thank you for joining our tour today. Know that the admissions office and many more on this campus are praying for you, praying that the Lord would direct your next steps and guide your college decision. We would love to connect with you further. Contact the admissions office to meet your admissions counselor, get your questions answered, and to set up your next visit. We look forward to meeting you. See you soon.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this afternoon's football action here in Wheaton, Illinois at McCauley Stadium, where the number 15 Thunder are about to take on the Carroll Pioneers in the second half of this football action. The Thunder with a 41-0 lead against the visiting Pioneers, led by Will Bowers, 4 touchdown passes, Giovanni Weeks, 2 touchdowns for him, 1 rushing, 1 receiving, 3 other receivers catching receptions from Bowers. Just a great all-around dominant game from the Thunder in the first half. We'll see here what the second half holds.
Yeah, it's been pretty dominant on all sides of the ball for the Thunder so far. We are looking to continue that as we start the second half. Would probably see some of the second strings come in and hopefully see them continue the same level of play that we've seen from the starters so far.
Yeah, so this will be Keon Miller. He's been a bright spot for the Pioneers this game. He's had a few really impressive receptions on the offensive end, as well as having some really nice returns here for his team. But this will be the Wheaton defense on the field to start the second half after starting the game by receiving the kickoff. On the defensive end, the Thunder have been overall very dominant. Jaden Ferlita making an impact. His impact felt earlier in the game. Sam Bell with a very clutch interception early in the first quarter. Virgil Cannon also almost got his hands on an interception. And this is Raby for Carroll, who has been hounded all game by the Wheaton defense. You could see there as he scrambles out of the pocket after pressure from all sides.
Yeah, once again, so Wheaton here is just playing with one man deep. With a single safety on that play, it was Bell. They're rolling a safety down to keep that middle area closed off, essentially, so he doesn't have anywhere to go. Once again, scrambles out. He's just not found anywhere to go with the ball today.
Raby once again, after rolling out of the pocket to the near side, doesn't find anyone, takes it himself. Able to pick up some yardage here, as you'll be able to see here on the Thrivent Financial replay, but just not much going here to start the second half for Carroll University.
Yeah, that's pretty much the summary so far. There's just not been much going on for Carroll, and Wheaton has had a lot going on.
So on 3rd and 1, Raby hands off.
It's a great job on that play by Caleb Kuhn. Able to completely blow up the tight end, the freshman trying to block him. Kuhn runs him into the running back. He gets the tackle, but really it was his own man that brought the running back down there.
Yeah, and that was number 28, Jake Netchin. He's in the game. He was in the game there for the first time, so he gets a carry for his team, the Pioneers, but does not make anything happen. Loss of 4 on that play. 4th and 5, so Carroll will find themselves punting against the wind here. McNeil Stout able to pull that punt in just before going out of bounds, and the Thunder offense will take the field here for the first time in this second half. We'll see what personnel they have out there. Noah, you mentioned that with a lead this big, we're likely going to see the reserves get some time this game, but for now, we're going to see Bowers back out there. Giovanni Weeks is not joining him as a backfield mate. Christian Karstens, who's had a great game so far, including a really acrobatic and incredible touchdown catch, is flanking Bowers in the backfield. Bowers with a handoff there to Karstens, who will jet for that far sideline, and before he has a chance of getting past the line of scrimmage, he's taken out of bounds by a few Carroll defenders, so a loss of a few there on that play. You can just see on the Thrivent Financial replay, just a simple handoff. Karstens cutting for that far sideline, but brought down. That's Will Campbell, the standout freshman. He's been really great for the Pioneers this year. He was able to bring Karstens down on that one. That'll be a loss of 3. So 2nd and 13 now for the Thunder. Bowers back in shotgun. Looking against the pressure and able to lift the pass over as he's backing up. There will be a flag there on the play, so we'll see what that is. But you can see on the replay here, Bowers pursued after Aiden Kingsbury just not able to get the edge on the defender, and it might be a holding call here against Kingsbury.
Yeah, it looks like a hold on Kingsbury on that play. Once again, Wheaton trying to go with the short passes, the screen play there, but there's a little bit too much pressure for it to be clean, and so we end up...
Offense, number 77. That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
End up with the holding penalty like they just said. So now Wheaton's got a 3rd and long here, and they're going to have to throw it a little bit more deep here. We'll get to see Bowers show off that arm strength, which we saw earlier.
3rd and 14 after that penalty. Bowers escaping, moving through. There he goes, and almost able to pick up a first there. Not what we were expecting there, but Bowers just decides after doing a quick survey that he is just going to take it himself, escapes the pressure. You can see Bowers just quick decision making and decides to take the slide. And they're actually, the Thunder offense will stay on the field for 4th and 3 here. And I guess when you're up 41-0, what's there to lose? Test out some of your 4th down playing, and we may not even see them call play. They might be trying to draw the defense off sides here, but we will find out here. The play clock is winding down. Oh, Bowers with a punt here. And we've seen that once this season, as Bowers actually does have a punt registered on his official team statistics, but I don't think Carroll was necessarily expecting that. As you can see, they really thought the offense was going to run a play, and Bowers, you know, maybe if the quarterback thing doesn't work out for him, we certainly have a spot for him as a punter.
Super effective punt there from Bowers. He gets it inside the 10. Carroll's offense hasn't been able to do much, and now they're stuck inside their own 10. Got to be worried about a safety with the amount of penetration that the defensive line's been getting here. Carroll on that drive was able to put a little more pressure on Bowers, especially against the left tackle junior Aiden Kingsbury that they have in now. He was getting beat a little bit, and so that pressure got to Bowers too much. But Bowers puts the punt down, and now Carroll's got a long ways to go.
Yeah, that little handoff there to Legnioli, who's gotten a fair share of the carries this game. So you can see Legnioli just cutting through, brought down by Jalen Schaefer, who's, as we've spoken about, one of the defensive standouts on this Thunder defense. There really are no weak points. Schaefer just is so good. We saw him able to show off some different aspects of his playmaking ability as a linebacker 2 weeks ago, where he was able to take an interception, return for a touchdown there with a nice tackle to bring down, stop anything from happening, as Raby pushed down to the end zone, pursued by Cannon, and has to throw it away, and Raby just barely got that ball out of bounds and did not want to take a safety. Virgil Cannon bearing down on him, breathing down his neck. Raby knows well enough not to test the Wheaton linebacking core, so Raby throws it away there after the pursuit by Cannon.
Absolutely not. Gets himself out of the pocket so that there's not the intentional grounding call there. Cannon with a great blitz off the edge. The running back tries to pick him up, but Cannon, if you give him another second there, he's going to bring Raby to the ground.
Yep, so 3rd and 9 now for the Carroll offense. They're going to need a first down here, and possibly a little bit more to feel just a little bit more comfortable after being so backed up against their end zone. And Raby once again being pushed towards the end zone. That throw is up and batted down by who else but Sam Bell. Bell with a nice pass breakup there after an interception early in this game. Bell making yet another play. You can see Raby here, pretty impressive pocket awareness, able to keep himself upright, avoided getting a sack or even a safety, but they will have a short punt here. As you can see, the Carroll punt team is preparing to do a little bit of extra blocking. They've got 3 blockers in front of their punter, knowing that Wheaton has the ability to block punts. They've done that a few times this season, and escaping the pressure gets the punt off, and that's a nice punt there around midfield taken by McNeil Stout, punting against the wind, but still able to get some nice air underneath that. The Thunder will be just around the 50-yard line here, so short field for them as they hope to add on a few more points to their score.
Yeah, another short field opportunity for the Thunder here as we see new quarterback out there. It'll be Jeremiah Tucker to lead the Wheaton offense for the rest of the game. Definitely want to shout out Jalen Schaefer getting to his 50th tackle on the year on that last defensive drive. So once again, he's just really been all over the place. As a linebacker, you're needed on both passes and runs, and he's definitely shown off there from all sides of the field, bringing people down.
Yeah, Schaefer, just a great player. Here we can see, like you said, Noah, Tucker in the game now. He goes with a handoff here to Karstens, who doesn't get anything there. Defense swallows that right up, and one of the few bright spots on the defensive side of the ball for Carroll. They've done a good job along their defensive line. When the Thunder have tried to run it up the middle, they've been pretty effective at keeping that gained yardage pretty low. But when the Thunder have been able to cut runs outside, that's when they've seen a lot more success. So we're going to see Tucker here with the ball rolling out. Just a quick little flick there. He finds Ben Juska, who's had a good game. Juska, if you remember, had 2 penalties called on him on the opening drive, but ever since then he's been money, including a touchdown reception to end the first half.
100%. Juska, with using his size as a tight end to just not get a huge gain there, but keep the ball moving. Elios Martinez, for the defensive end for Carroll, back-to-back plays there, did a really great job. On the run, he scrapes over the... doesn't over-pursue, stays right along the line, is able to bring the running back down up the middle from the defensive end spot, and then there stays on his man and keeps himself in front of the quarterback to keep the low gain.
Tucker avoiding pressure and moving up the sideline. Tucker, for those of you who maybe are less familiar with the reserves here for the Thunder, Tucker is a very mobile quarterback. You can see him just moving so quickly. He's got just a great frame for running. Just really, really fast, really shifty. Earlier in the season, in a similar situation, Tucker got some playing time in the second half of a blowout game and was able to burst off a 60-yard touchdown run. I would not be surprised if we saw some more big gains on the rushing front from Tucker this game.
Absolutely. Nice rush there from Karstens up the middle with a nice dive play. Just able to use his speed there to shift through before anybody's able to touch him. You're mentioning Tucker and his speed. He's actually he has the most yards per carry of any Wheaton Thunder player so far this year with 9.7. When he has the ball in his hands, he's incredibly dangerous. You'll see him a lot of times rolling out when he's going to pass, and if the first man's not there, a lot of times he'll just take off and take those yards that he can get.
Yep, Tucker now with the deep drop back. Looking, and that's a pass. Nice pass, and it's brought down in the end zone. Ben Bonga with the touchdown on a nice throw from Jeremiah Tucker. Just beautiful ball placement there from Tucker. Bonga high pointing it above two defenders, bringing it in, and that'll be another touchdown for the Thunder offense.
That's a great play from Jeremiah Tucker, able to just stand there and put that ball perfectly where it's supposed to be, in between the two defenders, high pointed it by Bonga, as you said. Tucker, we were just talking about how good his legs are, and now he throws his first touchdown pass of the year. He's a really well-rounded quarterback. Wheaton has so much great depth to be able to bring in second string with Tucker and with Karstens both also being seniors and have them stand out as well as they have has been really impressive.
Yeah, watch here on the Thriving Financial replay, just Tucker taking his time, delivering just a beautiful pass. You can see here, Bonga's got a defender behind him and coming in from the side and just keeps concentrated, finds that ball, brings it in right in front of his face mask, brings it down, and that's Bonga's first reception of the game, but nice big chunk of yardage for him. And of course, a touchdown isn't too bad tacked on top of it.
Absolutely, yeah. So Carroll on that defensive play is doing the same one-man deep that we saw earlier when Matthew Tucker had his huge catch. And once again, the safety has so much field to cover, he's not able to get there to provide help in time for the cornerback once he's beat. And so that gives Bonga the chance to just catch it over that cornerback for another touchdown for him this year.
Yeah, and this game quickly got out of hand in the first half with Carroll just taking an early 20-0 deficit in the first quarter, and it's just been more of the same for the Pioneers throughout this game. And it won't be Keon Miller this time with the return. That's actually Josh Hill, junior wide receiver, so one of the oldest players in the starting lineup for the Pioneers. He takes it, has a nice little return there. The Carroll offense will take the field once again here against a stout Thunder defense after the great offensive drive. And like you said, Noah, just there can't be enough said about the depth on this Thunder team. You have a multitude of players who could easily start for many other programs across the CCIW. Christian Karsten's a great example. Especially recently, we've really got to see his strengths. I think another player that doesn't get enough love is Philip Lachurko. He's actually picked up a really good amount of sacks. If I can take a look here at the stats, Philip Lachurko actually has 4 sacks on the season for his team, coming off as a reserve. Very impressive for a defensive lineman, as someone who doesn't get starter minutes to still make a really big impact on the defensive end. And they've got that at every position. They just have such depth. Jeremiah Tucker, another one we just saw, his ability to throw the football, his ability to run the football, definitely could be starting for many other programs. And when you have a team that's as deep as the Thunder, it just makes it very hard to do anything against them.
Yeah, absolutely. That depth has been really key for them so far this year, and we're getting a lot of playing time for those guys who aren't necessarily starting but are still great players like you mentioned. And a lot of that, I think, it's really important to shout out how great the coaching staff has been. With a lot of teams, once a player isn't starting, they'll transfer out. They'll find somewhere else to go. The Thunder coaching staff, the whole program, has been so great for all of these people, really building them up in every way, that they're willing to stick it out, even if they're not going to start. A lot of these guys are seniors. They might not be back next year for a 5th year, but they're still willing to stay here and be a part of this team. And because of that, they're able to have so many great games like this week where they're up 48-0 against a solid opponent in Carroll.
Yeah, and I just, there can't be enough said about just the camaraderie of this Thunder team. I mean, just being able to watch the sideline, it's a lot harder to see over the video broadcast, but for any of you who've gotten a chance to be in person for a Thunder game, I mean, the sideline is just alive the whole game. And we saw early in the game the sideline warning, which I think just shows how intensely these guys love each other and really love to see each other succeed. Yeah, just the Thunder just with a great program, and of course giving credit to the coaching staff where it's due. I think it's also worth noting that the coaching staff in a lot of respects is a little bit newer. Coach Jesse Scott, just a few years into his coaching tenure after Coach Swider led the program for so many years so successfully, and Scott just building off of that, and it's just cool to see the Thunder just succeeding no matter what is in their way.
Absolutely, yeah. Coach Scott coming in with his first year being the COVID year and having to navigate through that, and then taking over in 2021 for his first season with a tough situation where you have Wheaton's dominated the CCIW for so long, and now you have North Central becoming the #1 team in the country. But Wheaton's responded. Wheaton's really grown as Scott has grown as a coach over these last 2 years, and you can see that in all aspects of the game. Definitely want to shout out on that last play, Dimitri Skakovac, the defensive tackle, chasing the quarterback down from behind, number 99. 272 pounds, barreling down at your face is not what you're wanting to see as
Carroll,
Ravy.
And that's charge of the half.
That defensive line has been there all game.
Yeah, the defensive line for the Thunder definitely one of the strongest aspects of their defense. As Carroll will take a timeout here. During this timeout, let's take a moment to look at some of the other scores across the CCIW in some other football action. Illinois Wesleyan winning 45-0 in the third quarter against Carthage. Augustana winning 42-13 against North Park at halftime. North Central in the third quarter up 28-0 against the also undefeated Wash U. And Elmhurst losing down 6-0 to Milliken at the beginning of the third quarter. Wheaton, as far as their upcoming schedule, Wheaton will host Milliken once again here at home next week, which is also Wheaton's family weekend. Should be a fun matchup. After that, they will go to St. Louis to visit Wash U, take on Wash U, and what should be a great game, as Wheaton and Wash U are both two of the strongest teams in the CCIW. And Wheaton will finish off its regular season with its senior day here at home against North Park. This is Raby once again, and he delivers a pass right to Keon Miller, but just comes out of his hands. So that'll be an incompletion there. Miller definitely could have pulled that in, but just not able to finish here, and you can just see it come off his hands. He had gotten enough space against his defender as well, but just not able to haul that one in.
Yeah, you see Philip Wacherko, who you were shouting out earlier, getting some playing time there and really rushing to the quarterback. The line leaves him open for the rollout, but that amount of pressure just gets Raby a little bit off, and he delivers it a little bit too late for Keon Miller to pick it up.
And that is Noah Streveler punting the ball for Carroll. He's been busy this game, as Carroll has had quite a few punts. And this will be the Thunder offense on the field once again, so we will see Jeremiah Tucker likely once again. Yep, it looks like Tucker is still out there for his team, out with Christian Karstens. We'll also see some of the reserve linemen, so you can see number 77, Aiden Kingsbury out there. Ben Bonga in the game still, along with Will Eggleston, and McNeil Stout. So Tucker will be starting here, leading the offense from the Thunder's own 23. And we'll see what the Thunder offense can get going here on this drive. They'll start with a handoff to Christian Karstens, who cuts through, and Karstens still on his feet. Great work there by Karstens, and on the replay we'll get to appreciate this play a little bit more, but nice, impressive run there from Karstens.
Yeah, as we see on the Thrivent Financial replay, you get the double pull, including the center pull, number 52, backup center Nicholas Beard. He goes out there and levels that linebacker, allows Carstens to get to the outside. The center play from Wheaton, both on the starter and the second string, throughout this year has been really impressive. Derek Johannick, the senior starter from Wheaton Academy, who his younger brother, Peter Johannick, starting to get some reps on the special teams unit as well. The Johannick family just really has built up a couple of these guys, with Derek's father being the football coach at Wheaton Academy, and you have a couple of Wheaton Academy grads starting for the Wheaton College team now. It's amazing to see the offensive line be so productive, so consistently from every level, every position, both starters and backups, which is how Wheaton has had such a great year for their running backs, like we've seen with Weeks and with Carstens.
Yeah, but now Jack Allen will get his first reps at running back of the game. He'll be joining Jeremiah Tucker in the backfield. Matthew Tucker also in the game, and speaking of, Jeremiah connects with his brother, Matthew, on the reception there, and that'll be a first down Thunder. Move the chains. Nice little connection there between the two Tucker brothers.
Yeah, it's such a great story to have two senior brothers out there together, one throwing to the other and able to march down the field. We've seen Jeremiah Tucker so far in his time has been really accurate in this game. Had the nice touchdown pass earlier, and now another one to Tucker, his brother there. It's a great run from Jack Allen as he's going at the 20, at the 15. Oh, and he's brought down at the 15. But a great run up the middle. He had a nice juke there at the start, and then he had open space for days all the way up to the 15-yard line for Jack Allen with a huge run for him.
Yeah, take a look at the Thrivent Financial replay here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just getting past multiple defenders. Such great footwork there and agility by Allen, and just brought down there the last line of defense. Will Eggleston unable to get a block there, but Jack Allen with a nice big pickup on his second carry of the game. This will be Tucker on the keeper. He cuts the outside. Nice spin move from Tucker, and he's diving in just short of the end zone. Just impressive athleticism from every Thunder player who's been able to touch the ball on this drive. Look at Tucker here on the keeper here. Look at him as he approaches the defender. Just nice little spin move. The defender able to keep a hold of him, but Tucker with that spin move was able to pick up just a few extra yards. Now within just within 3 yards now of the end zone, the Thunder offense, even with the reserves out there, just able to move the chains so easily.
Yeah, Tucker was looking to get another touchdown highlight reel there. Now with such a short situation, they're going to run with Tucker again here, and he'll get that touchdown that he was looking for off the outside. Tucker he's such a dynamic playmaker like that. That's what we've seen a lot of the times that he's been in. When he has the ball and he's running with it, it's so hard to catch up with him. And Wheaton's offense all day has gotten the most success from going outside, away from that defensive line. And Tucker follows that formula to a T, gets to the outside, and just a nice 3-yard gain right into the end zone.
Well, and I think it's worth noting, too, Carroll, with the fact that they're putting so many young players on the field, it's already hard to play against a player like Jeremiah Tucker, who, like you said, is just so dynamic, can pass the ball, can run, can really just play with whatever the defense gives him. It's that much more difficult when you're still figuring out your play as a young player, playing against a guy like Jeremiah Tucker who can hurt you in pretty much every way on the football field.
Absolutely. Jeremiah Tucker's so dynamic, and definitely it helps when you have such a great block there from number 77, Aiden Kingsbury. Had a couple of miscues early on, but right there completely pancakes the defensive lineman up against him, so there's nobody that can even try to chase Tucker to the outside.
Yep, so that'll be another touchdown for the Thunder. They now have 55 to Carroll 0. We have 1:41 left here in this third quarter as the train starts to rumble past in the background. Wheaton Thunder's 12th man, adding just that much more to the atmosphere. This will be Mary kicking off. He's had a great game as well for the Thunder, kicking in all but one of his extra points. Obviously, the Thunder have had no need for field goals this game. This will be Keon Miller once again returning. He's got a nice long field to work with there after receiving the kickoff, but brought down around that 28-30 yard line.
Yeah. Miller with another attempt at a return. He's got good speed and he tries to take it to the outside, but with going diagonal, he's not able to pick up as much of the vertical yardage that he needs, just bringing Carroll to the 27 instead of the 25 that they would have had with a touchback. This has definitely been a continuation of the last couple of times that Wheaton and Carroll faced off. Wheaton's won their last 5. Every game that they've played Carroll since Carroll returned to the CCIW, and we are getting close to the largest point total for the Wheaton offense so far this year. Last week they had 59 against Carthage, and 2 weeks ago it was 56 against Elmhurst. We're at 55 now, still in the third quarter. We probably will see a little bit higher than that as we continue this game.
Yeah, definitely more than likely to bet on another touchdown here from the Thunder. We've got about a minute left here in the third. Carroll offense on the field. They've got a 2nd and 2, so short here. And that'll be Jackson Case with the carry. He's able to pick up the first before being brought down by Dmitry Skakovac.
Yeah, Case has been the more effective rusher for the Carroll offense so far. And what we see there is he's got a little bit more, looks like he's got a little bit more burst, able to get past that defensive line, but not able to get past the linebackers, and he's wrestled to the ground there.
And excuse me, that was Sam Bell, number 49 on the tackle. He was assisted by Skakovac. This will be Raby once again. He finds his receiver. That's number 81, Alex Gibson. Oh, excuse me, that's number 84 for the Pioneers, able to pull that one in.
Yeah, Austin Eichstadt, with his first catch of the day, he was one of Carroll's best players last year, and first-team all-conference in 2021, but Wheaton's really held him in check so far. He's able to get a little bit of separation off the curl route there from the cornerback, but overall, Wheaton's defensive backs have done a great job of holding Eichstadt and
That's
Keon
the end
Miller
of the third quarter
to such low receiving totals this game.
That'll be the end of the third quarter here. Wheaton up more than comfortably against the visiting Pioneers, 55-0 here. Thank you for continuing to follow along with today's game. Thank you for those of you who have been with us the whole day and have been able to bear through some of our earlier technical difficulties. While we're waiting for the fourth quarter to get underway, let's do yet another CCIW score check. Illinois Wesleyan is still up 45-0 against Carthage about halfway through the third quarter. Augustana winning 42-13 against North Park, also in the third quarter. North Central in the fourth, up 28-0 against WashU. WashU in danger of being shut out. Once again, as mentioned earlier, North Central and WashU are the only 2 undefeated teams in the CCIW competing for that top spot. And barring an impressive comeback from WashU, North Central will remain undefeated. Elmhurst and Milliken rounding it out. Milliken still with just that slim 6-point margin over the Elmhurst Blue Jays. That score 6-0 in the third. So after switching sides of the field, the Carroll offense will continue to try and make something happen. They are with the ball on the Wheaton 46. Raby rolling out. He finds a receiver, but unable to haul that in. That was number 45, Reed Breckheimer, who we've seen a few times this game, including on a little tight end screen that happened
injured player
just before the Sam Bell interception in the first half. Breckheimer had his hands on the ball, but just unable to fully take it in. Just as we've seen with the Thunder, especially at home this year, just no team really has been able to catch a break against the Thunder at home this year.
Yeah, no, they don't let up. That's definitely been the case. Breckheimer there gets enough open space to probably bring that in. It wouldn't have been for too big of a gain. it's impressive for Raby to get rid of that with the guys flying towards him like they have been. But Breckheimer just hits off his hands, and then he's hit as he goes down. And so now he's being checked out. But the Wheaton Thunder defense now is getting ready for a second and long now. So they will probably be doing that same amount of pressure with definitely looking for some pressure from the ends and maybe a linebacker being sent in there. Overall, we've had just a great game from the defensive line, as we've mentioned repeatedly, as well as the linebackers. Sam Bell, certainly. It's hard to say, like, to highlight one player because pretty much every single player on both sides of the ball you could mention has been really impressive. From the offensive side, you have 6 different players with touchdowns so far already, including Weeks with 2 touchdowns. And you've had just really impressive accuracy from our quarterback so far. Bowers ending the game with 91% accuracy rating, and Jeremiah Tucker so far is 3 for 3 as well. The defensive defense from the Thunder side has been really effective of bottling up the best receivers from Carroll, but we've not really seen that from the other side. The Thunder receivers have been so athletic and so able to break past Carroll's defensive backs, the corners and safeties, that it's really been just unfair so far in this game.
Yeah, and I think it's worth noting, like you were saying, Noah, just it's hard to choose just a few, and part of the reason it's hard to choose just a few players to highlight is because this Thunder team has the discipline and the understanding of where everyone needs to be and what they need to be doing at any point in the game. I think you get to see that more on the defensive end just because there's just so much discipline required. As Keon Miller unable to hold on to that ball there. Could have been an impressive catch if he had hauled it in, but just not able to. But when you have such a experienced defense like the Thunder, where everyone knows their role, everyone knows what is expected of them on any given play, that's what happens. That's how you put in such a well-rounded defensive performance as a team. Just everyone knowing that it's not just on them or it's not just on their team, and it's a team game.
That's absolutely true, and we saw that just on the last play. They have everyone in the exact zone where they need to be. Right there, once again, Raby can't find anyone to throw to because they're all bottled up. It's not a man-to-man where every single person is, like, athletically better. That's not what the Thunder defensive scheme has been. It's been so effective at just having such a spread across the entire field where the Carroll receivers haven't had anywhere to go to find that open space.
Yeah, and that defense, once again, proving to be incredibly stout, forcing yet another punt here. This one will be into the wind for Carroll as McNeil Stout able to pull that one in just before going out of bounds. It'll be a long field situation here for the Thunder offense, but as we've seen so far this game, that hasn't posed too much of an issue for them. We'll see what they draw up here at the start of the fourth quarter. We've got just under 15 minutes left here. We just started that fourth quarter just a few minutes ago. The offense will roll out onto the field. Jeremiah Tucker still in the game at quarterback. He's joined by Christian Karstens in the backfield. Will Eggleston and McNeil Stout, they're out there at receiver. Quick handoff here. Fake handoff. Even got me on that one. Karstens looked like he had it, but it ended up being Tucker with the keeper, and Tucker picking up a nice big chunk of yardage.
Yeah, Tucker with another rush there.
Timeout for an injured player.
Tucker's able to pick up another 10-yard gain. He's working his own way up towards the top of the rushing yard leaderboard for this game. But we've seen him be able to keep the defense back with his accuracy of his throws so far. That's something a lot of times when Tucker's been in, the defense has been sending more and more pressure because they don't feel as worried about a pass in the middle or a deep ball. But Tucker's able to be accurate. 3 for 3 today, had it pass up the middle to his brother, and so now you see the linebacker stay back, allowing Tucker that extra bit of time to reach the outside and pick up that yardage.
Yep, this has just been a great game for the Thunder all around. It's just, there's not many other ways to say it, and when you get to this point in the game, it gets hard to think of things to talk about when the Thunder have just been playing as well as they have been. But after the timeout here, we're going to see the Thunder back on the field once again. Tucker hoping to, like you said, continue to add to that rushing total. He's had a really impressive game.
40 on the play clock, please. 40.
Coming off as a reserve.
Thank you.
Also out there, receiver is senior Eli Odell. So some different receivers out there for the Thunder, hoping they can get their hands on the ball here from Tucker. It's also Jack Allen in for Christian Karstens, who was in on that first play at running back. It's now Jack Allen. This will be Tucker once again. Tucker with a quick pass out to Allen out of the backfield, who moves through, able to get a few blocks from his receivers and pick up some yardage there. Nice little play there for Jack Allen, able to just pick up the quick pass out of the backfield. Make something happen with his legs there.
Yeah, good for Allen to get some more touches here. In this game, he had a great 42-yard rush earlier. Now gets some space on the outside for a catch, which will put him up to 10 receptions on the year so far. That's also his longest catch of the year so far with that 5-yard gain. So it's, you know, spreading the ball around, which has been a great asset for the Thunder so far.
And the Thunder go right back to Jack Allen with a very similar play to the one previous. This one not quite as successful in terms of yardage picked up. That one sniffed out very, very quickly by the Carroll defense after they just saw it. But this will be now a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, went for another bubble screen to the running back there. This time, not as effective. The right tackle, Parker Rogers, the sophomore, wasn't able to get out to that linebacker to free up the lane for Allen on that one.
Another receiver in now for the Thunder. This is tight end J.D. McKay on the same side of the field as Eli Odell. Tucker will survey, look for a pass, and passes for Odell. That one's just a little over the head of Eli Odell. Number 4 there was the intended receiver. So that'll be a 3 and out here for the Thunder. It feels like we haven't seen that for a very long time. The last time we had that was actually where Bowers himself ended up punting the ball, pinning the Carroll offense inside the 10 on something that the offense definitely wasn't expected. But this time we'll have our regular punt team out. This will be Evan Spees out, ready to punt the ball. He'll be punting into the wind, so have to put a little extra juice under this kick to get it to go as far as he wants it to. Carroll putting some good pressure there, but Spees able to move it. Carroll decides to not touch the ball, and it will be Wheaton's punt team pinning that ball down. Carroll will have a pretty decent starting field position here. They'll be starting on their own 41. The Wheaton defense will hope to continue to stifle any offensive attempts here for the Pioneers.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely Carroll's best starting field position by far so far, which makes sense when this is the first punt that your punters kicked all game. So with a little more room to work with for Carroll, you'll probably see them open up their playbook a little bit more, and we'll see how that goes. So that's a rush there for
Netchin.
Netchin for Carroll, their 4th running back of the game, and he has, you know, it's once again a Carroll team that's got a lot of youth. They're still trying to get as many people reps as they can so that they're able to, you know, for the years to come. They've got a program that's on the ups, but it's still got a little ways to go to get to the top of the CCIW, and so we'll see them keep trying to spread it out right now.
And speaking of spreading it out, Raby there with a nice connection to his receiver. That was Austin Eichstadt, number 84 on the reception there. Nice little play design there for the Carroll offense to move the chains. And Noah, you talked earlier about Eichstadt. He's one of the better offensive players that Carroll has. He's been recognized in the past for his play. He's been pretty contained today from the Thunder defense, but if you're a Carroll fan, it's happy to see Eichstadt getting his hands on the ball.
Absolutely. And now Raby out to throw another pass. Oh, and that's going to be intercepted. It's a great job there, pursuing from behind from the Wheaton defender, Noah Jones, another Wheaton Academy grad. He picks up his first interception of the year. Raby's out on the run, being pursued by LaChurco. Tries to throw it off his back foot, and it's just right to Noah Jones coming from behind. Great job from the safety. Reads the ball and is able to pursue from there, and then picks up a nice interception to bring the Wheaton offense back onto the field.
Well, and yeah, and you know, a word that we could use to describe the way that ball looked coming out just because of the pressure, in layman's terms, would be a duck. It had a lot of wobble to it, and like you said, Wheaton Academy grad Noah Jones just able to take advantage of the poor throw and just do something with it. This is now a new quarterback. This is senior Ben Thorson, number 5, on the field for his Thunder, delivering his first pass of the game, and that's complete, and that'll be a first down. He got that one off to number 83, J.D. McKay, just across the middle. Oh, excuse me, that was McNeil Stout across the middle that he was able to get it to. McKay came in there to help at the end.
Yeah, Ben Thorson, another Wheaton Academy grad, said that a couple of times today. And he here has just, in his first 2 plays, just accuracy, which has been something we've seen from all of our quarterbacks so far today. Just putting the ball right on the chest of his receiver. It's a great job hitting McNeil Stout once again there for that catch. And even with the third and the fourth strings in here, we're still able to see consistent movement of the ball, which has been really impressive.
Yeah, really encouraging to see the Wheaton team just on both sides of the ball just in just peak form this game. It's the perfect time of the season to get to that point as we get closer and closer to fighting for a playoff berth. Just great to see, like you said, the reserves able to come in and play really meaningful minutes to continue to move the ball or stop the ball depending on which side of the team is on the field. This will be Thorson again, flanked by Jack Allen in the backfield, and Thorson with a little pass out to J.D. McKay, who's able to pick up a few yards after jetting towards the sideline there. You can see on this replay, just nice, easy pass. McKay got plenty of space, no pressure applied to him as he's making that catch and able to pick up some yards. It'll be 2nd and 5 here for the Thunder.
Yeah, Wheaton's not going for any big, huge plays right now, obviously up 55-0, but we see them just getting the ball to their playmakers right around the line of scrimmage and letting them see what happens.
Yep, this is Thorson against pressure, and he gets it to Jack Allen, who shows off a little bit of that speed. Allen, after taking that pass and was able to just speed up so quickly. Take a look here at the Thrivent Financial replay. Allen comes out of the backfield, cuts through towards the sideline. Thorson able to find him against pressure, and Allen just with such impressive acceleration there.
Yeah, it's a great job by Thorson there. He has somebody in his face. He has to completely stop his momentum and then throw the ball, and he's able to still keep his accuracy with that, which is definitely a tough thing to do.
Thorson once again. This will be a new player in the Wheaton backfield, and
number 31 in for a touchdown.
His first carry. That is Henry Brown Jr. out of Arizona. Henry Brown, first carry of the game, and that's his first touchdown of the game. So, like you said, seems like whenever we talk about how well the reserves play, they just go out and remind us. And with that touchdown, that will be Wheaton's highest point total of the season so far. They've got 61 right now, only leaving 1 point off the board so far this game with that one missed extra point. And this will be Jack Ryken now kicking the extra point rather than Mary. And that's a fumbled snap. The ball is still alive and picked up by Carroll. And the special teams man for Carroll will go the length of the field and return it. And if I remember correctly, this will be worth
2 points. Joshua Wilkes, the sophomore defensive back for Carroll, coming in on the special teams unit and ruins the shutout. Wheaton puts up their highest point total, but gives up 2 on the botch snap there with the second string special teams in. You end up seeing a long run from Wilkes there to take away the shutout, which I'm sure they're thrilled to have some points on the board, although it's definitely not threatening the final result of this one.
Yeah, you can't help but just kind of chuckle a little bit after a play like that. Just a little bit of a miscue. You've got some different special teams guys in. If you're Wheaton, obviously you've got Reichanen kicking instead of Mary. And like you said, Wilkes just able to capitalize on the loose ball, bring it back for 2 points. One of the lone bright spots for this Carroll team today has been that little special teams play there. It's not very often you see an extra point returned for 2 points, so that's certainly something that we probably won't see again this season.
No.
Reichen back on the field now. He'll be kicking off. Reichen boots it. That'll be Keon Miller, who's been very active this game for Carroll, and he goes right up the middle and able to make it far and brought down at the very last second there by Virgil Cannon. If he had been able to get out of this tackle by Cannon, he might have been able to take it to the house. You can see here Cannon just diving in, able to get contact with Keon Miller's ankles and feet and just able to bring him down. But if not for that Virgil Cannon tackle, we could have actually had more points on the board back-to-back for Carroll, which would have been quite the turnaround for them considering how this game has gone for them so far. But their offense will be back on the field. They are still playing the majority of their starters, including quarterback Josh Raby, who's had a tough game. The defense has not made it easy for him. He'll hand off to Jake Netchin, who will bounce around between linemen, pick up a few yards. It'll be 2nd and 7 after that 3-yard pickup there by Netchin.
Yeah. You mentioned the difficulties that we have seen from Raby so far. Just a 31% completion percentage. It's been tough for him. It's not always been bad throws. In fact, a lot of the time it hasn't been. It's just been there's so much pressure from the linemen and the linebackers, and then great defense. We've seen great plays from safeties Sam Bell and the other defensive backs so far. Noah Jones with a great interception, and it just with that, along with a not consistent running game from Carroll so far, it's been a recipe for disaster for their offense.
Yeah, and I think it's worth noting too, when we talk about Raby's stat line too, he's had quite a few passes dropped by his receivers where he's delivered it pretty nicely and just receivers just haven't been able to finish, and that, you know, reflects poorly on the stat sheet, but you got to watch the game to know those things. Keon Miller here with a reception. He's been the most active receiver for his offense. Even off the low snap here, you can see Raby takes the time to deliver a pass there to Miller before he's bumped around by Virgil Cannon and brought down. The Carroll offense able to move down the field a little bit more effectively on this drive so far. They're hoping to get in the end zone on the offensive side of the ball for the first time this game still. That's a quick pass out to Eichstadt along the sideline.
On that previous play, we saw Keon Miller make the catch, and we see freshman Luca Torti making his first tackle for Wheaton of his career. And that's another great thing about big wins like this. You get to see those younger guys getting some playing time, freshmen and sophomores across the board here that are really making an impact against this offense. Oh, what a sack there by number 51, Philip Lachurko. His 5th sack of the year. He absolutely leveled Raby on that play.
And you know as well as anyone else, Noah, from how much I've talked about Lachurko even today, he is one of my favorite players on this Thunder roster because in those minutes he gets, he makes it count. What an impressive play there from Philip Lachurko, like you said, leveling Raby, stopping anything from happening.
Yeah, that's a great play. He starts it off with a great rip move, something that you see a lot from the NFL stars, and he's able to essentially toss the lineman that's supposed to block him out of his way, and with that, he then lights up Raby. And now on this play, once again, we see more pressure from Lachurko.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 48. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Sophomore Isaac Parrish picking up a roughing the passer there, with him and Lachurko both coming in. Not able to stop his momentum in time before he hits the quarterback. So Carroll now once again into the 20. They're into the red zone for the second time today, hoping for a little bit more success than the last time. I would guess that they'll continue passing the ball here and probably looking for Keon Miller once again.
Yep. So Raby and the offense given a nice opportunity here after that penalty. And that pass is complete to Eichstadt, who picks up a nice big chunk of yardage. The Carroll offense will now be the closest to the end zone that they have been all game. The last time they were this close, Sam Bell interrupted any thought of a touchdown with a timely end zone interception. Now the Carroll offense just 4 yards from the end zone with a full set of downs. They'll look to try and make something happen here with just about 5 minutes left in this game. Raby, quick pass out to Keon Miller, who just drops it. Pass was just a little bit low, so of course you could say that Raby could have delivered it a little bit better, but
that's
Keon Miller wide open, and yeah, that's just that's a catch like you said. You just got to make that. Miller could have probably gotten to the end zone with that. So just yet another miscue, yet another thing that just hasn't gone Carroll's way. But they've got a few more chances here. They've got a second and third down, barring any sort of takeaway here from the Thunder defense. Pre-snap motion from Muth, and that's another pass intended.
This time intended for number 8.
That's J.R. Muth, who had a great game last week against Elmhurst, and he just not able to get there. That pass that time was just a little off.
Yeah, thrown behind from Raby. Wheaton's in man coverage this close to the end zone, and they put Muth in motion, so he starts going towards the middle. Noah Jones, the safety, is trying to mirror him, but then when Muth cuts back outside, Jones is too late getting back to him. Had Muth open for the touchdown there, but Raby's not able to deliver the pass.
Yep, so it'll be 3rd and 4 here. Wow. And that's
a touchdown.
First touchdown of the game for Carroll, and what an impressive catch here. Really not much else that Clay Campbell, number 14, the defender on Eichstadt, could do. Take a look here, folks, at the replay after we get the extra point attempt to just see how impressive a catch Eichstadt makes. Very similar to the one that Ben Bonga had earlier in the game. Eichstadt just high pointing the ball, getting up, catching it right at the peak of his jump, able to bring it down despite the pressure from Campbell, able to bring it down in the corner of the end zone, and that'll be Carroll's first offensive touchdown of the game. Their extra point is good, so Carroll now with 9 points, showing signs of life with just under 5 minutes left. And take a look here at the Thrivent Financial replay. You're going to see this ball just delivered very well. Eichstadt just elevating over Campbell, having his eye on the ball the whole time, bringing it in. Once he got that ball in his hands, he was not letting go. And that is a great play to show, like you've said, Noah, why Eichstadt has been recognized in the past for his play. Just a really impressive catch there from Eichstadt.
Yeah, really strong hands on that, able to keep the ball completely secure as he hits the ground. That's what they call getting mossed there. Eichstadt with a great catch. As you said, he was an all-conference player last year. He's not had quite the same year this year, but that's another touchdown for him as he's putting up some of his best numbers so far for anybody on this Carroll offense. And now Wheaton will get the ball back after surrendering their first points to the Carroll offense. Of course, we had the 2-point conversion gone wrong, or extra point gone wrong earlier in the game. So now Wheaton will try to set things back right.
That kickoff will go out of bounds, which is a flag technically, so the Wheaton offense will have good field position to start this drive, which, depending on how long it takes with the way that the Thunder have been
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down, Wheaton.
So, like we said, flag on the play from the kick going out of bounds will mean the Thunder start with the ball on the 35 rather than the 25, which would have been the position if there was a touchback. We've got 4 minutes and 43 seconds left in this game, folks, and the Thunder offense with the reserves in has been moving the ball a little bit more conservatively. Very understandable as they're just trying to get everyone as many reps as possible. It's very possible we still see another play be broken off here, as the Thunder have been doing that all game. But this could be the last possession for either team of the game, depending on how this one goes. It'll start off with the handoff to Jack Allen, who will pick up about 1 or 2 yards before being stopped by forward progress.
Yeah, Allen is has the second highest rushing yards so far in this game, and that's only his 3rd carry. It's been very impressive for Wheaton. They have now 8 players with carries so far in this game, including multiple touchdowns. We saw Gio Weeks early with 2 touchdowns. We had Jeremiah Tucker, the quarterback, pick up a rushing touchdown, and earlier Henry Brown picking up his first touchdown of his career, the junior. It's been great all around. And there is Jack Allen again with another solid run for a first down.
Yeah, great run there from Allen. This time the Thunder offense able to push a little bit closer through the middle of that line, which has been the one area that has been hard for them to move the ball against that Carroll defensive line, but this time staying a little bit closer to the middle of that pile, and Allen able to pick up a nice first down.
Yeah, the Carroll defensive line, understandably, is looking a little bit tired out there, getting pushed around a little bit more. Carroll's defense has been out there for the vast majority of this game, and they're wearing down, and the Wheaton offense keeps firing on all cylinders. Another great run there by Henry Brown. His yards per carry is going to be really high with the 41-yard touchdown, and then that good solid 15 to 20-yard rush. Brown, the junior, he hasn't gotten a ton of reps so far, but when he's been out there, he's been really effective, and he is another one of those players of the future for Wheaton College that you can see coming into a big role in the next year or two.
Yeah, nice run there. Couldn't have said it better myself. Just a really impressive play there from Henry Brown. So with the offense once again, if we hadn't mentioned it before, Ben Thorson is still out there for his Thunder team. This time Brown not able to pick up nearly as much. He gets a few yards before being taken down. Looks like he'll pick up probably 3 or 4 yards. Maybe he's got 2nd and 6 now, so a nice 4-yard pickup there from Brown.
See Jaden Pankow, the tight end, sophomore tight end out of Chicago Hope Academy, coming into the game. It's, it's great to get a lot of different guys playing time in this one. And with Wheaton trying to run out the clock, we'll probably see a few more rushes here to the end of the game.
Yeah, we've got just over 2 minutes left here. Another handoff here to Henry Brown, and Henry Brown putting the truck stick on the defender. Take a look at this replay, folks. Henry Brown making the defense really work for anything that they're going to get.
My goodness.
Right
so
there.
First downs. Now we're inside the 10 once again, looking for one last exclamation point before this game ends.
Yeah, and if you're the reserves, I mean, why not try and get as much experience as you can, try and understand the feelings and the different situations that being in the red zone puts you in. This is a great experience for the guys, especially, as you said, Noah, a lot of these guys are players who we're going to see.
Brown not able to pick up a ton of yardage there with the counter play, but overall he's been really impressive in his touches so far in this game, looking to earn himself some more playing time this year as well as in the future.
So the Thunder will now turn to the victory formation here to finish out the clock, and the Thunder with a 61-9 victory over the visiting Pioneers. What an impressive showing from the Thunder, putting up their highest point total of the game, only surrendering points on a very late touchdown, as well as just special teams miscue. There's not much more to be said that already hasn't been said, just an all-out dominant performance from the Thunder. They'll be back here at McCauley Stadium next week for Wheaton's Family Weekend. They will play against the visiting, play against the visitors, which will be Milliken. Just one more final CCIW score check before we depart. Carthage will fall to Illinois Wesleyan. They will lose 55-0 here as their game is about to finish. Augustana will likely win as they are up 49-27 in the fourth over North Park. North Central 31-0 over Wash U still in the fourth. Exclamation point victory for North Central over the only other undefeated team in the CCIW. Milliken now with 13 against the Elmhurst Blue Jays. They will likely come away with a victory as well. Folks, thank you for joining us. This has been Josh Beischel and Noah Husted bringing you today's broadcast of Thunder Football. We'll hope to have you back with us next week as Wheaton plays the visitors, Milliken University. Thank you again for joining us for this afternoon's Thunder action.